Welcome to In the Spotlight. It's your girl Lisa, the Baltimore Paparazzi, Hard Body Radio. And actually, we're starting a little bit early this time. Gold star for me for starting early. But that's because my guests showed up early. Y'all know that don't hardly ever happen. So this week we got something totally different. Usually I have underground hip hop artists. I hate to say local. Underground hip hop artists from here, PA, wherever. I'm actually have somebody from DC coming up next month, hopefully. Actually had Judah Priest, the Supreme, who Judah Priest was, he's a part of Wu-Tang affiliation, Brooklyn Zoo Bullies. He was signed to G Unit. He was just here last week. They're actually going on tour right now. You have to excuse me. I have a tooth that got pulled today, this morning, actually, around 12 o'clock. Went home, took about a 3-hour nap, and I'm here. So, I still got galls in my mouth, y'all. So this week, something totally different. Have somebody here who has a clothing line. I'm sure that you all have other interests as well that you're going to want to talk about. This is not an interview, it's a conversation. So we talk about like, I know you guys are hip hop fans probably. Most of my artists or most of the people that come on here are hip hop artists. So I tend to go towards the hip hop and ask opinions of So do y'all like to introduce yourself? Can you turn the clean white fan? Can you turn it down like one? Because that was loud.
My fault. Just introducing ourselves. This is Naz, CEO/.
I'm Steve, co-CEO.
You just talk. It'll pick it up.
Charles, Vice President /
Brian, President / Ace.
How about you guys?
I'm CJ, just work last.
I'm Kane. I'm Bob.
He's like, I'm here.
Right.
So, you guys are young.
Yeah.
Considerably young, like especially to me. So this is what I love seeing. I love seeing people go beyond like. Where you guys live? Where you guys grew up at? Where are you from? Are you from here in Baltimore?
Yeah, we're from Baltimore.
You're from the city.
Yeah,
East Baltimore.
Okay. So you all okay? Well, right now I live up off of York Road, up on Harwood. So, so what I'm trying to get at is a lot of people don't understand. Like they know the negativity of Baltimore,
right?
And they don't see the positivity of Baltimore.
Exactly.
And you guys right here are the positivity of Baltimore.
Appreciate that.
Because how long have you when did you start the clothing line?
Well, we got the idea back in 2015. Actually, I hit these two, the co-founders right here, hit my man Charles up and was just like, bro, let's start a clothing line. And from there, we just been building. So got the idea in 2015, then released our first products to the summer of 2016. So it's been over 2 years now since we released our first thing. So our first product.
That's awesome. So what's funny is how you got in contact with me, how that happened.
Right.
Backstory: I was in the bank.
Yeah.
And there was another gentleman in the bank, and he was talking about.
There you go, right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in top.
Yeah, but the guy that was talking to you about being a singer.
Came out.
Yeah, and I was like, and I'm listening to this conversation because I'm famous for ear hustling. I'm sorry. You never know. Nothing is a coincidence, and everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
So I was ear hustling, and he's talking, and then he's talking, and I'm like, and I have a radio show. Ears perked up, exchange of information, and you guys are here.
Yeah.
So, what I find interesting, what possessed you? Like, what possessed you to even think about having a clothing line?
It was really just I like getting fly. I know everybody. Like everybody. That's just I feel like I'm part of our culture, a part of just Baltimore. So I was looking around at different clothing, and I wasn't really impressed. Not to shoot nobody down or nothing like that. I wasn't impressed. And the clothing lines that I was impressed with, I couldn't afford or nothing like that.
Right.
So I was just like, let's start our own, but let's do something beyond just a clothing line. Let's actually put out dope stuff, first, but let's put a message behind it, and let's do something and start a movement more than anything. So that was really the thinking behind it.
Oh, okay. Because right now there's it seems like, okay, at first, what I noticed was a couple people would, like, especially like the artists, were putting their names on their shirts, and then their fans or their group, and their fans are wearing, and then this, that, and the third, and then like I'm starting to notice, like, just like everybody was a rapper, everybody all of a sudden now everybody had a clothing line.
That's right.
And I'm just like, from one aspect, I'm just so proud because people are doing more than. The reason why I keep saying this is because when I first moved to Baltimore in 2003, I moved to one of the worst neighborhoods of Baltimore, Poplar Grove. Everybody.
Yeah.
And I was the ringtone lady then. I was doing ringtones for Booster Nextel. So I would try to get the kids to understand that there was more than just their block. There was more than just West Baltimore. People, I don't like East Baltimore. You ever been there? No.
Yeah.
Well, how do you know you don't like it?
Yeah.
They beefing amongst each other. This block don't like this block. And I'm like, why? Oh, well, that's just the way it is. And I'm like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
I've traveled different places. I've lived in different places. So I was trying to get these kids to understand there's more than just what you have right here. And a lot of them have a few of them have passed away because they were in that, in the streets and not thinking that there was anything bigger and better.
Right.
That's why I keep saying, like, you guys, the statistics, you are the exact opposite of statistics. And it makes me happy to see people doing that, especially, with the city, with the murder rate and everything that's going on. So, and of course, this weekend is the ceasefire.
Yeah.
Actually, there's an event tonight, not to try to plug anything, but there's an event tonight at Howard Cultural Center on Howard Street. It's a free event. There's going to be some really great artists there. I'm not going to be able to be there. I got to work in the morning, and this thing is hurting. So, it's just amazing to me that you guys came up with this, like, you just wanted to have a clothing line.
Yeah.
So, I see that you have the hats, you have the t-shirts, you even got the little jacket going on. What are some other things that, what's your line that you have?
All right, so right now we have the hats, the t-shirts, and actually this windbreak is a sample that we ordering, and it's coming in the fall. So this is for the fall. So, we're working on getting a lot of different things, especially this year. Different bottoms, starting a girls like wear separate. I want to get into kids sizes and whatnot. So we're just working on bandanas. We have that right now, bandanas. And we're just working on diversity right now. Just switching up the products and getting complete sets and all that. So
that's awesome. I have a friend of mine who's an artist. That was actually his song. His name is Bodymore Big Steve. He just had an album release party last night. And he has his clothing line called BR Clothing. And I did a photo shoot for him. Not really a photo shoot, but, you know, took some pictures so he'd be able to post them up. And he was trying some different things. Like, he started out with the T-shirts, you know, with just his logo, you know, the Bodymore Records logo. And then he's progressed into the women's line, the kids line, because he has kids.
Right.
So he's done, you know, so I don't think a lot of people they don't think about that route. You know, a lot, what I've seen is they just have the T-shirts and, you know, they're selling them and, you know, that's cool. But I think I think that one of the most famous Baltimore clothing lines, there's two of them that I could think of right now, and that's Cash Land, and that's John Cash. He's actually my birthday twin.
That's cool.
My man Beezy, who has Be More Like Us. And those are the two that come to mind, you know. So what does slash mean? Is that there's a meaning behind that?
Yeah, it's an acronym. Strong leaders always so high. And actually, this the co-founder that came up with the acronym right here. Like I said before, when I called Charles the VP, we were going through a list of names. Like, we just came up with a list of names that we wanted, and he was just like, man, once I passed the slash, because I wasn't too much on it at first, and he was like, nah, that's the one. And then when I called up Steve, you know, to see his opinion on it too, he was like, nah, that's the one. So we was rocking with it, and the first acronym we had, it was striving like always.
Striving like always so hard.
It
wasn't as fluid.
It wasn't flow. It didn't flow.
Right. So that's when Steve came back with strong leaders always so high. And I was like, like that's the one. And then just even me and him, we've known each other since we were like 1 years old. Like, so we've grown up with each other. His mother and my mother are pretty much sisters, and they always taught us to literally be leaders. Like, and these guys around me too, I've known these two guys for over like 5 years. That's my brother, of course. I met Kylie. But one thing that we all have in common is just being leaders, being separate, being different from just the normal. Like you was talking about the culture in the city and stuff like that. Being ourselves, being comfortable in our own skins, and knowing that we are leaders. And so I just, that was just it.
I mean, I'm loving the fact that, because, like, you know, some people be like, you know, it's just something we came up with, and I'd be like, it doesn't mean anything. Like, everything should have a meaning, you know. Like, when the artists come in here and they have these names, I like to ask them, like, where did your stage name come from? You know, some of them be like, well, when I grew up, you know, it was a nickname, or, you know, whatever. Some of them have very interesting, you know, it's like I said, like, you know, when you see it, I'm sure, like, lots of different. Has anybody ever asked you, like, what does this mean?
Oh yeah, all the time. They always come up to us asking, like, what's it? They think, some people think it's like rock band is type.
Because you know why? Because the S, because that's a Kiss S.
I know.
That's a Kiss S.
And it's actually I think it's a rock. It's a guy, a part of a rock band that's named Slash, actually.
Yeah, that's Slash. He's Guns N' Roses.
So
I was listening to them on the way here, actually. I'm very diverse with the music that I listen to.
They always ask us, so
and he's actually a pretty cool guy. He's actually mixed. He's black and white. He does a lot of stuff too. As far as he doesn't have that rocker mentality. Like, he's not the bad, you know, like you hear, they done broke up everything in the hotel, and I don't think he used to do that way back in the day. But anyway, because like when I seen that it was like Slash Clothing, I was like, wow, what is that? You know, I seen how the letters and all were, and I was like, and it kind of reminds me of Flash, you know, DC is that DC Comics? It's DC Comics. You know, so, you know, I don't ask any questions. It's like when artists come through, I don't listen to none of their music until he gets here, because, you know, that way, I mean, I wear everything on my face anyway. I have to walk away from the stage when I'm at performances, because if they suck, I'm sorry, it's going to be right here. And everybody sees it, and the DJ has caught me a few times. And he'll send me the picture and be like, why did you do that? So it's very interesting like that you got, like, how old are you guys?
I'm 20.
I'm 20. 21. I'm
21.
18. 21.
Oh, you guys are so babies.
Yeah.
Like my youngest is 20.
Yeah.
My youngest is 20. So, where do you guys like see you taking this? Like, I mean, are you know, worldwide?
Yeah, worldwide.
You probably can with the internet.
Yeah,
That's the thing. Like when we started this, we didn't want to just be Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? This is the
Of
start
course.
of roots. You feel me? Like Baltimore's the roots.
Right.
But like we trying to be like worldwide. Definitely. Like not everybody wants slash. You feel me?
Well, my thing is like, where can people get it at now?
We have a website, www.slashclothing.com. Everything's on there. All the products are on there. Instagram, we promote on Instagram at official/clothing.
Yeah, that seems to be the way to go right now. Is like is Instagram. Just Instagram, just period.
Yeah. So
because a lot of dumbass rappers are getting notoriety from
yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure.
That's real.
But yeah, because I come up like as I'm scrolling, like I'm scrolling through Instagram, like I see this like sponsored pages and different things, and I'm tired of the damn hair people trying to add me because I don't need bundles, and I don't need bundles. Do you need bundles? I'm just saying I don't need bundles, and that's why my page is one of my pages is private. The Baltimore Paparazzi is, and everybody just adds me on there. I don't care, but it seems like that Instagram seems to be the way to go until it's going to get oversaturated, and then somebody's going to find something else to kind of replace that. As far as you guys going worldwide, excuse me, definitely can do that nowadays with the internet. You're going to be able to reach more people. I can see, I'm just sitting here like thinking like I can see your clothing being worn in like Tokyo, Japan.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Well, not only because of like you have the little writing right there, but like Japan is so into the hip hop culture.
Yeah, that's real.
And they like stuff like, I have a friend of mine, his wife, that's where she's from, and that's where his wife and daughter are living at, and he's going to move over there. I told him to move over there to begin with, but he loves it over there. Like when he was over there, he was filming and taking pictures of like storefronts of how much the hip hop culture means to them. That I really can just like see people walking around with t-shirts with your logo on there.
That's crazy because like I was even going to say too, as far as the worldwide, the first like 5 stores I was even thinking about the locations. Of course, one in Baltimore, home, New York, Cali, London, and then Tokyo, Japan. That's like Tokyo, Japan was definitely someplace because I know even on the fashion end, like I study it and stuff like that. It's huge over there too.
Right.
Like people don't understand how huge fashion is worldwide. Like it's huge in Europe. Like you said, Tokyo and stuff like that, it's huge. So that was definitely a place.
So, do you want to study? I mean, have you studied? Like, are you going to go to school for fashion, or is that something that you are wanting to do, or you're doing? Or
that's something that I'm willing to do. I've studied. When I say I've studied just like the greats that people before. But that's something that down the line I'm definitely willing to do because I want to be better at my craft. Just like anything, I feel like you have to practice to become better. You have to continue to improve. So that's definitely something that I'm willing to try and willing to do.
I mean, even if like I know for myself, like I've been to school, I've been to colleges and stuff. And sometimes school is not for everybody. Like my daughter, she's so super. She's like me. She's smart. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but like she left when she was in high school. She left. Was it winter break or spring break? It was one of them breaks, and she had like a 24. When she came back for spring break, she had like a 93. Like she like just in that like week's time, she had brought her grade up that much. Right. She hated the class and she hated the teacher. She wasn't stupid. She just didn't want to do the work. So a lot of times, like I think people they try to force feed us colleges and trade schools and this is what you need to do to get ahead. Then Hobson made a song a couple years ago, and he said, he said something in the roundabout way of, did those who made the college, did they go to college? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, you think about it, like these people who are telling you that you need to go and get a higher education to get a better job, but all it does is give you student loans, student loan debt. You know,
I feel like a degree, it still holds power. Like, especially like us, like what I stand in young African males. Like, a degree will take us a long way. Right. So I feel like with school, it's all about like what you love to do, what you're willing to learn for real. So if you go to school, like myself, I go to school for graphic design because I'm a techie guy. Like, it's something I feel like I know I'm just gonna fall in love with. I'm gonna carry out with it. And I feel like with school, it's a little harder for some people because they get put in something where like, oh, that's where the money is, so I'm gonna do it just because the money is good. But I mean, end of the day, the money you're not gonna be willing to work for the money, and the money not gonna mean nothing to you.
Right.
So it's not something you love to do.
And you're right about that, because my children, they're biracial. So a lot of my family doesn't understand that when I'm going to bat for inequality and everything else, they don't understand why. I'm like, because my son has been on Green Mountain 33rd getting on the bus and been pulled up off the bus stop and drugged down to Giant because he fit a damn description. Handcuffed on the sidewalk. My son, I just left high school. I just left school and going home. So I understand, everything that you just said. Even with the degrees, though, it seems like it's not a guarantee.
Right. Yeah.
You're studying graphic design. I know 2 graphic designers here in the city that taught themselves, and they are phenomenal. And it's just I can't do graphic design. I make all my flyers myself. But that's through a collage program that I have had over the years, and I know how to tweak it and whatever. So that's why I said, like, school's not for everybody. Like, if it's something that you love to do, like you said, graphic design, you like all that kind of stuff. Like, I like to learn new stuff too. I'm a jack of all trades and a master of none. So, that's why I said, not even really going to school, but being able to maybe talk to somebody who's into fashion and maybe like kind of not really like intern with them, but actually learn from them.
Yeah.
That's even learning something.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you never know, like seeing what others have.
Right.
And it's not like you see what others are doing with clothes, like the clothing line. You see what they're doing. And it's not that you're following in their footsteps. It's like, okay, well, I see that they did this. How can I do that, but do it better?
Right.
And like I said, my friend, he has a clothesline. So he went from the T-shirts to he has this one 2-piece outfit that I call it the thigh outfit. It's what it is. He said, he was like, I don't think I'm going to sell this. Like, because the girl looked really good in it, but it's just not something that she could probably wear it out to clubs. But it's like really, really, yeah. But I said, well, what you can do is you can offer it as a specialty piece.
Right.
And you can sell it for more money because it's a specialty piece. And then he got this little dress, and like I said, like he was thinking completely like what nobody else is doing.
Exactly.
And that's how you expand your business. I just lost my train of thought just then. So I still can't get over the fact that you guys are just so young and doing this. It's amazing to me.
I appreciate it. It all just happened really like organically. Like, I'm a huge believer in God, like, and the way everything's coming together. I can give you a million stories. I can give you a million stories about how it seemed like we was coming towards the end, or it was about to be, that's it. And it's just like miraculously, and he's opened doors, so many doors that it's just like, it's nothing that we can plan or humans can plan. It's all him, and everything, even the relationships that were built, it's just all him, and it's all organic, and that's just. Yeah.
I think when it comes down to it, that the passion that you have for what you do.
Yeah.
When you love what you do, it no longer becomes a job. This, to me, I know people who do stuff, like you said, do stuff because of money.
Right.
Oh, if I do this, then I can make some money.
Right.
Well, guess what? When you do it just for the money, you don't make money.
Yeah.
Or you make money fast and then it's gone just as fast. Because you're not investing in yourself, you're not investing in what you're doing. I think that's the reason why this all is working for you, because it's something that you guys want to do. It's not like, okay, well, what we'll do is we're going to make this clothing line and we're going to make some money and we're going to do this and we're going to do that.
Yeah.
And then, because what I've seen with any business,
right?
Because even like I said, the hip hop community, that's a business.
Yeah.
The artists they're a commodity. It's a business. I've seen is, okay, all you guys right here. Well, you three. Well, let's go ahead and go you four. You four, you're really working. You're doing this. You're doing this. The other two is like, yeah, well, whatever y'all want to do, that's cool with me. So then you guys are struggling. You need their input, but they're like, nah, whatever. And then you're like, okay, you guys are like frustrated because all y'all supposed to be doing this.
Right.
So then when these two finally decide to like, okay, we're going to get into it, you guys are so disheartened. You're like, man, I don't even care no more.
Right.
And I've seen this happen time and time again because not everybody is on the same page. Not everybody has the same enthusiasm. Not everybody wants to do what everybody else wants to do.
Yeah.
Some people are riding coattails.
Yeah.
But that's the reason why, like I said, you guys are doing this and you're achieving things. And I'm loving the fact that you came up with the idea in 2015.
Yeah. In the 2015, November 2015.
And waited to put something out.
Yeah.
You planned it. You almost come up with like a business plan. See, whether or not you all know this, all this stuff that you're doing is taught in college and business.
Yeah, it's really. And I gotta give, like, my mom tuned in now. I gotta give like all credit to her, just watching her, because she's an entrepreneur too. So just growing up watching her, literally, I picked up things, like growing up in that household, and her whole side of the family, my uncle, grandfather, they're all entrepreneurs too. So I just naturally just picked up things from, and like you said, the stuff that's taught in college is the stuff that I was coming home seeing, stuff I was seeing. So
and I've had a few people in here and asked them how, like, support is the main thing with anything that you do in life. If you don't have that support behind you, it's harder for you. I'm not going to say that people don't achieve, but it's harder for you to achieve what you're trying to go through.
Sure.
So you've had that support. Like, I mean, if I can't even say my son, because if my son come to me and said he wanted to start a clothing line, and I would probably look at him, because like he told me he wanted to start rapping, and I just looked at him. I was like, look. But if I knew that he was serious and this was something that he wanted to do, then I would be behind him 1,000%, because he's not in these streets.
Yeah, that's real.
He's trying to get money another way. He's trying to be better another way. So you having that support behind you is what really makes a difference.
Right.
What about you guys with your families? They
Oh, 100%. My dad he's a chef, so he owns his own business and it's an LLC. And like I grew up in it. Like that's all I did was just grow up in it. And we talked about it when he sent me the idea. It was like January at some point. We was talking about when we gonna do it. We was like, wait for it. And so like I was in high school setting up concerts, and I was like, we're gonna do it here. So May 12th we put out the shirts. And we was making business plans. We was already writing stuff when we want to put stuff out, when we want to get the money to do other things. And I got into college. I'm in college now, and I'm studying business administration and accounting. And literally, they teaching me already the stuff that we already walked through, we already been talking about. And it's just crazy. Like it's crazy how what the mindset we have and what we learned, the wisdom that we got with the business. Because we grew up in it, like it's because of that, because we was breastfed off of it, we already know what we want to do.
Right. How about you?
Even with my family, what I do is every time we get like a new shirt or something like that, I give it right to my little brother. Since we not in school no more, we get him to wear. He go to Bard Early College up on Dukeland, and so he be saying his friends saying what they be like, oh, I want a slash shirt too and all this and that. And that's kind of like, that's an easy promo right there.
Right.
It's your little brother and all that. They see that. Even with Brian right here,
his brother and his whole little gang, and they be wanting Slash and all that too. They will start up their schools and all this and that.
Yeah.
And that just gives us more views and more looks and all that.
Right.
So,
because what people, like I said this, I came in this music scene, I came in the music scene in 2006, July 2006. I didn't go to my first show until January 2008. Because I was trying to get familiar with people's names, music, because I didn't know where the artists that came on the radio, I didn't know where they came from. I just thought they just was there. Like, I didn't think about like the underground scene. So when, you know, I started becoming a part of that, people were giving me shirts. And then I'm wearing the shirts out in public. That's free promotion.
Yeah.
People don't, like, a lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah.
And I told them, I said, you need to gear your music and everything towards the younger crowd, because they're the ones that's going to buy it.
Yeah.
The kids are going to buy it because they're going to say, Ma, I need $10. I'm going to buy this shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Ma, can I have this? I'm going to have some money. Can I have, you know, and, you know, 9 times out of 10, parent going to give them some money and go buy whatever, buy music, buy a shirt, buy whatever. And because the older crowd is going to be more skeptical.
Yeah. They want to know what is Slash,
what is this? What is this? But the kids, because nobody else has it,
they want that too,
they want it.
Yeah.
You know, they want it. And then every time somebody sees, oh, what's that? Where would you get that at?
Right.
Oh, and if they're slick, they get it for free. But the T-shirt, like, you'd be like, yo, the T-shirts are $10. All right, well, I can get it for 15. It's actually, you know, higher than that, but I can give it to you for 15. So they can already make a profit. Yeah. I'm not trying to say anybody's gonna scam y'all, but some kids do, especially if they're business minded.
Yeah, that's real.
But you know, you can't even be mad at it for trying to make a couple dollars legally. But you know, and that's like I said, like, you know, you give the kid, you give somebody, you know, even if you give your mother a free T-shirt. She's walking around going grocery shopping, people are looking. Somebody might ask. I have a shirt from the local scenes called I Am Baltimore Hip Hop.
Right.
I love my shirt. Frank Lewis is the one who came up with the idea years ago, and he still sells those T-shirts to this day. Right. So at one of my interviews, he brought me my shirt, and I wear that shirt, and I get the double take.
Yeah.
And I like that. Where can I get that from? Right. Look up Frank Lewis on Facebook. Here, I'm gonna write it down for you. And yeah, you can buy it. Tell them I sent you.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same way, you know, free promotion.
Yeah.
So what do you think it makes the kids really really like the shirts? You know, is it just because I
feel like another thing too that adds to it is just
the feel. Because I'm looking at that shirt and it looks really, really soft.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, it's the material and quality. It's a special type of cotton that we got from overseas, and we actually fell upon it by accident. Like, it was just like, yo, we started off with the Gildan, you know, the Gildan shirts and stuff like that.
Of course.
We started off with Gildan.
I was getting ready to say that's
it's our first shirt. It's the first.
That's the second one.
Yeah. And so as we started growing, we was like, all right, we want our own tags, we want our own everything. So we started researching and looking online, and so now we upgraded to the Slash. We got the tags in here and the whole 9. And it's a way better quality shirt.
I see.
Yeah.
Because my shirt, my I Am Baltimore Hip Hop shirt is this. It's a thin material and it's so soft.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, because I'm looking at this shirt and I'm like, that does not look like a normal.
Yeah.
You know.
T-shirt. Yeah.
I'm doing air quotes, y'all. Y'all can't see, but I'm doing air quotes. Normal, you know, clothing line shirt that you know people are used to seeing.
For sure.
You know, and that look, when you said special kind of cotton we got from overseas, and I'm just smiling, y'all, because who does that?
Yeah.
Like, who tries the research?
Yeah.
I'm trying to see. Joshua, was that Josh? I don't know. I can't even see what that name is. Said, what's up? Jawan McNaw, Jahuan. Jahuan. Yeah, his last name's McNaw. He said, what's up, Nas?
I don't think that's crazy. I probably know.
Right.
I know faces more than names.
Right.
What's up? What's up?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No, that's cool.
But yeah. But I'm trying to see. I'm so bad at like, because if you're on YouTube, you can comment and it'll come up on my screen, and then Hard Body Radio is over here, and I don't look at either one of these.
YouTube Live, yeah, that's funny.
What, YouTube?
Yeah, like the live. I mean, I heard of the live, but
I love it because you know why? Because people that can't tune in right now, they can look at it. Because my channel is nothing but these interviews. I don't have anything else on just these interviews. And then if they can actually just type in because it's going to say in the spotlight dash, and it says I think it's the slash. Oh, hold up, what is that? Yeah, slash clothing. I forgot. I had to make sure I put the right thing on there.
We actually just started getting YouTube ourselves. Like that's a different. I think that's the next. Well, that's already huge, but like you said, once Instagram starts getting oversaturated, that's something that I feel like a lot of people, a lot of business owners should start getting into. Just YouTube, if it fits your brand, if it fits what you're trying to do.
You can even do short commercials.
We already on it. Yeah.
See,
yeah, we on it.
/TV.
Yeah,
/TV. Sure.
But even Instagram has the TV channel now.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? Like, I really need something else to flash up on my notifications and all. But like, there's so much stuff that you can do as far as marketing and promoting. Have you guys done fashion shows?
Fashion shows, not yet. That's definitely been in the discussion because now we have a female board where we going to now, because now we're about to expand to the girls line and whatnot. And so that was something that one of the ladies suggested to us. She was like, how about getting a fashion show?
Well, don't be surprised if you get an email from me saying, hey, hit this person up because they got a fashion show coming up. Because that's what I do, is I direct people to different places. Judah told 3D, who's the he's the president of Hard Body. I don't even know what the hell he is. He's supposed to be my boss, but I don't listen to nothing he says. Judah was like, she's the plug. And I was like, no, I'm not. Don't say that. Yeah, everybody's going to be talking to me and stuff. But no, I've been a part of a couple like fashion shows. People had their clothing lines. And the thing about it is their clothing line was primarily just shirts. And I'm just like, do you have like sweatsuits? Do you have shorts? Do you have anything? Like, it's just shirts. And I'm just like, okay. Now my one homegirl, she does tutus. She makes tutus. So it was like the tutus and like somebody else's like shirt to go, it was kind of cool. But you have to think, for me, you have to think
you got to
bigger.
Think outside the box.
You got to think definitely outside that box, because you're just doing one thing. Everybody's doing that same thing.
Competition, really, like business is competition at the end of the day too. You got a lot of people in your lane, a lot of people in the industry, and you gotta look at it as, how can I stand out?
Please don't do a Kanye.
Yeah.
That clothing line looked like the homeless clothing line. It's like he went out on Skid Row in Hollywood and was like, I'm gonna do that. And like I look at fashion. I'm not really into fashion because I'm not. I put on what's comfortable. I'm a big girl. I put on what's comfortable. I can't do a lot of the stuff that these other big girls are doing. It's ridiculous. But I can't do it. I'm glad they feel confident in themselves to wear like hardly any clothes. That's just not me. Whew. Be like, whoa, she looked like the biscuits done busted out the can. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be fat shaming people. I feel like I can fat shame though, because I'm fat.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm just saying. I'm being honest. But told you I get off track. And I haven't had any drugs but some Tylenol, so I can't even blame it on some painkillers. Like, not at all. I can't do it. But this is just me naturally. But yeah, I forgot what I was saying. But yeah, fashion. I look at some stuff like I come across either something on Facebook or something, you know, while I'm looking on my phone, and I'm like, this is fashion.
Yeah.
This is, and what's funny is these are clothes that nobody's wearing.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, we're gonna make this one thing, and this is what, you know, this is the it thing, and I'm just like, but where you gonna wear that at?
Yeah.
You gonna go shopping at Giant in that? I don't think so. Because in my mindset, I'm not on Rodeo Drive.
Yeah.
I'm at Aldi's. So, you know, I think that things need to be different in their own way. Like I said, you guys you already starting off with the, you know, I'm seeing how the font changed.
Yeah. We actually have another one. We just released another whole different one.
Oh, the Storm.
The Storm. It's a reflective shirt on the same cotton.
Yeah, it got a different font as well too.
Look, everybody is just. But do you think that you'll change the font on another thing?
Oh yeah, like so.
Oh, I like that, the lightning.
Yeah, reflective.
Something
different.
Oh, is it? It's reflective.
Yeah, it's reflective. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll scare somebody at nighttime. You driving along, and all of a sudden you see that, and all you see is the lightning. Oh hell yeah! And it's /storm.
Yeah, it's /storm.
So
it's crazy you said that about somebody driving by and saying it, because the commercial we did is kind of based off like that exact how you just explained it for real.
Yeah, it's like
you do a commercial. Yeah, it's like.
From Zion and Miss T.
Yeah, that's my mother and my brother.
Yeah, they're tuning in.
Shout out them.
Yeah, she said some other stuff, but it's going away from the thing. It just says from Zion and Miss T.
What's up?
Yeah, Z.
But yeah, that's I mean, like, so like I said, I'm seeing the different. You got /clothing, and then now you got the /storm. Like that's, it's the same, but it's not. It's you're almost like you're having, you know, the
collections.
Yeah, there you go.
That's why
we taking about series.
So like each one of them kind of get like, we'll have like this, and then be like different colorways, and then we'll decide on another design or something like that, different colorways with that, and then
it's a different series.
I mean, the possibilities are really endless. You know, and like I said, the fact that, like I said, I see that shirt with the different look. So is that's the underneath, is that like Japanese or Chinese? And does it really say what you think it's going to say?
I had to take my first year I took Chinese.
Okay.
So I had to make
because
sure.
You know, there's a lot of people that get the symbols.
Tattoos.
They get the symbols and it said, oh, it says prosperity, and it's like, no, it doesn't. It says shrimp fried rice. You know.
Yeah. That's
so you know, that's why I said, and you took Chinese. Oh my God, see. Your parents, I'm telling y'all, you got some awesome parents.
Yeah, that's real. Yeah,
my son took Spanish and was like, you know, I took 4 years of Spanish and all I gotta do is cuss you out. That's about it.
I accidentally took Chinese. Like, I wasn't supposed to.
How in the world did you accidentally?
It was like my high school. I think I signed up for Spanish, but they put me in Chinese. So it was already on my schedule. I just went with it pretty much.
They probably said, well, you can do Chinese.
Yeah, just put them in Chinese.
I wanted to learn like Chinese. Like I think it is fascinating.
And that is another thing with business too. Like that's another reason why I want to like expand like bilingual and everything. As far as with Chinese and everything.
China,
the China
game over there.
That's it.
Well, Trump. Yeah.
Yeah.
We might have some problems in the future here. Just saying, just watching the news and all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still looking at Canada.
Still
looking at Canada. I don't want to do. I can't do Mexico. For one, it's too hot, and I don't feel like ducking the cartels. I think I can handle. I got friends in Canada already. I got a lot of friends from that live up there. As long as I ain't got to deal with Drake. But yeah, like I said, like I was looking at the shirt and I was like, I wonder if they really, you know, if they researched it or. So what does that say under there? It says slash.
Yeah, slash.
Okay. All right. So that was that like the first?
That was the first, literally the first box. We had like what? We bought like 50
black, 50 gray. Yeah. It's memories.
We just went from there.
And what's the 98? The
98.
That's when he was born.
That's the year I was born. So I was just like, I thought it would be cool to throw it on there.
That'd be cool. And I would say, when did you have this printed out? Was that 2016?
Yeah, 2016.
I would wait like 10 years because I'm sure y'all gonna still be around 10 years. I'm pretty sure. The way y'all's mindset is. Yeah, I'm gonna be the one going, hey, I know them guys. People are like, no, you don't. I'll be like, we pull it up on my YouTube channel. You pull it up on my YouTube channel, as long as somebody don't hack my YouTube channel. But yeah, that'd be something like 10 years re-released it or something, you know? Charge a little bit more because, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm always thinking like, you know, business. So I think you guys pretty much have the business part like right down because you know, like I said, 2 years. A lot of people don't last this long.
Yeah.
What do you think the longevity? How do you think you've been able to last these past 2 years?
First God, of course. The support, the people that we have behind us, like you said, the family members that we have behind us, our mothers, like every single one of our mothers just stand behind us full force, and even our siblings, like my little brother, every time I come with a design or something or idea, he'll over geek over it or something like that. So just the support behind that, and then behind that, the support that we have outside of that is crazy too. Just the fan base we have. I don't even like to call it family. It's a family,
right?
And how much they support, because I still believe in this day and age, it's still the best marketing strategy to me. It's still just word of mouth. You feel me? It's nothing like hearing somebody talk about a new artist. That's how most people get put on an artist, new clothing. They see their friends or they hear their friends always talking about it. And our family, they always posting, re-tagging us and shouting us out and just throwing it up. And so that's priceless to me. And just the team-oriented, it's a family. Really, this is a family. We all live together. That's the crazy part. Like, we live together.
Y'all fight too, don't you? Y'all argue, fight.
We don't really fight like that.
We all understand each other to the point where it's like it's hard for us to bump heads.
We rarely.
So when somebody says something crazy, you be like, you know what, you crazy. You know you crazy for that, right?
Yeah.
You know you wrong for that, right?
Yeah. If one of us tripping, most of the time we trip. And then we'll come back, man, I know I was tripping. And then that'll just be it. But just having a family and everybody playing their role, like you were saying earlier, with the two people like not working, I feel like honestly everybody plays an important part, and they're working in it. It's not like we have anybody just leeches.
Right.
You know, we don't have a lot of people. We don't have anybody on the team that's just like, yo, let me get some free shirts, and they not doing nothing. They not promoting or nothing. So I feel like that's a huge part of it. Everybody's working together. Everybody doing what's best for the team first. It's not a me mentality with any of us. We all selfless, and we all just work together.
And I mean, it's just like I said, like when I was in the bank, and he was like, he could have easily been like, oh yeah, for real, and left it at that. No, he came over and said, let me get your information, and I'm like, I didn't want to get him in trouble at the bank, you know. Right, you know, I mean,
I had to make sure
I'm not a member of that bank. I used to be. I owe them money, just a little bit, just a couple dollars. But you know, that's where like I go and I go and cash my checks if I don't feel like putting them in my bank, because I bank it. I bank at Harbor Bank because it's a minority-owned bank. That's just That's the reason why I'm there.
That's important.
There's only like 3 of them in Baltimore,
That's important, though.
but it's a minority-owned bank, and that's where I put my money at. But it could have been easily, like I said, he just come right over and he was like, "Let me get your information, because I have a homeboy who's got a clothing line and And I was like, not a problem. You know what I mean? So, you know, you don't always get that from people who are supposed to be your team.
Right.
And it's important because, like you said, like the best support, the main support comes from the people that are around you. Sure. So if you got Joey and whoever over here, they're supposed to be, hey man, you know, this, that, and the third. But then when it comes right down to it, they're not promoting, they're not telling nobody, they're not even posting up their Instagram. They too busy posting up, you know, twerk videos or fight videos or whatever. But they not even like one out of 5, 1 out of 10 are not even like something about Slash clothing. Then you're like, why are you here?
It definitely progresses too, because like, I mean, in our early stages, like we like gone through that, like we've seen that happen too. But like as it's just all about pushing and keep pushing, and even like having someone that like keep pulling us, like come on, we gotta keep going, They just kind of taking that leadership role, and it kind of helps like in the future for real. So that's when everyone else starts saying that, and like, oh, they serious. Yeah. Let's keep going. Like,
and I'm glad that you said that, because a lot of times I know growing up you had homeboys that you know had these ideas of doing stuff, and then everything was cool for like maybe a couple months, and then you're like, well, what happened? You know, man, you know, whatever, and you're just like, well, why'd you give up? You know, why'd you stop? You know, I see it in the hip hop community all the time. Like some of the people, like that when I first came in, because I knew absolutely nobody, and I was taking pictures of people, and even going back now and looking at these pictures, I took pictures saying, oh, maybe this will help me remember people. No, especially when you don't put their names next to the pictures. But a lot of those people, like after like maybe about a year, they gave up, not realizing. Like, a lot of people get into business things thinking that, oh, I'm gonna blow up. Be it hip hop, be it clothing, be it food. You know, how many places have you seen that, you know, a storefront opens up and it's like a carry out, and then within 6 months they're gone. You know, we had one around the corner. I lived up on Kimball, behind 33rd, up at where the Memorial Stadium used to be at, where YMCA is. And right around the corner on Crestland, there's a store, and then there's like a little carry-out spot. I lived there for 6 years, and I know at least 3 times they tried to make that carry-out spot work. I don't know why it didn't work. It was the only carry-out spot around there. It should have been busy all the time, and the half and half was awesome. But you know, it's like, did you just give up? Did you not really think about what you were doing? You just jumped feet first and didn't think about what you were going to do first? You know,
it's a constant grind. It's honestly, anytime you start anything, especially in business, you're going to take a loss. Especially in business, unless you just got somebody just completely, some rich person coming and backing you, you're going to take a loss. So understanding that, I feel like that's what we came in knowing, just off of our family members in the background. So we knew that this wasn't going to happen overnight. We knew that this was going to be constant. And then, like you said, the passion. Like, I honestly don't even think about the money. Like, as crazy as it sounds, I have not thought about the money since we started. It's not about how much money we can make, because at the end of the day, you chase your dream, you chase your purpose, that's all going to come. And that's not even a main motivating factor. You know, a lot of people, that's that motivating factor. I want the money. And once you're not seeing it for a minute, of course you're going to fall off. So getting and learning your passion, learning what is it that I love that I would do for free, that I'm willing to lose money, lose sleep, go through hell and back for. What is it I'm willing to? And once you find that, and once you say, all right, cool, I understand that this is going to be a slow grind, you already won half the battle.
And what's crazy is, like I said, a lot of people start a business thinking about the money situation, not realizing, okay, I got to take this money, even if it's $100, and you got to invest it into this. You got to go and you got to buy this, this, and this, and this. Now you got to figure out how much you're going to charge to make that, at least that $100 back. But you can't charge too much, because people be looking at you all crazy. They don't think about none of that. They don't think about, okay, I might lose this money. I might lose, you know, I might not make this money back. It might take me a while to lose it, depending on how much money you've invested. did you have people like investors, like people that said, okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to give you this amount of money so you can get your shirts and get them printed up and everything else?
Yeah, my mom was the first investor with the first shirts. She was the first person to say, all right, I'm going to believe in you and I'm going to go. So she put down like $300 for the first shirts. Mm-hmm. And so from there, though, it's been just getting the money, whatever money we get, putting it exactly right back. So just constantly. And then on top of that, it's been, all right, that money, but also, cool, you got to go in your pocket too. And just putting it all into it. It's an all-in factor. Like, and that's just what we've been doing. Getting the money, investing, flipping, getting the money, investing, flipping, and keep moving. Because it's about the product right now. It's about putting out the best product we can. And that should really be the number one thing more than anything, really. Mm-hmm. When you, whatever business you're in, putting out the best product possible, because everything else is going to come. Don't worry about anything else. Just put out the best work that you can possibly put out, and let the people appreciate it. And yeah, so
see, and everything that you just said. Yeah. Drug dealers do that same thing in the streets and don't realize that they can do the same thing legally. I have a friend of mine who, when I first met him, we was getting ready to fight because he thought I was calling the police. And I told him let him go because I wasn't scared of him. He was a big guy. Big guy, dreads, permanent golds in his mouth. You know, he just looked the part. So well, we became friends. But as he actually became family. His grandmother actually loved me more than him. Damn. It got to that. So rest in peace, Miss Christine. I love that lady. But he was like, look, I need to go legit. He had kids. He was like, I need to get out of this life. You know, the police was trying to get him. They couldn't get any evidence on him because he was top man on the totem pole. He ain't touched nothing. You know? So, and he's a chef. Not that he went to school for it, just that his grandmother taught him how to cook. I thought he was full of shit. I was like, yeah, whatever. Until he made some stuff and I tasted it and I was like, wait a minute. Hold up. So making dinners. So he had this hot dog cart. And we would take the hot dog cart over to by Latrobe at the clinic that's right there. Yeah. That's where we used to park it at. And then when we had the food truck, we brought the food truck over, and we had his girlfriend was wifey, whatever. She was making, had dinners or whatever. But he was going legit. And he was telling me the same exact thing. He was like, I take the money, and you make the money, then I put it back, and I flip it, and I do this and that. I was like, that's the same shit he's doing in the streets. He said, exactly. He said, I didn't have to go to school for it. That's great. He said, I know, you know, but then people was like trying to, you know, where's your permit and all that stuff, and he, you know, we had all them people, the permit people way back then. But you know, and that's what I told him. I was like, if you can be out here and making this money and having big screen TVs in your house and having these kids and making sure they're good and you making you good, your workers are good. And then he was trying to get the guys that was working with him to try to do the same thing, but they wasn't making the same amount of money they were making. So they felt some kind of way. So they went right back to the streets. Now, one of them works at McCormick. You know, my other cousin, because they're all my cousins now, they family. They all got legitimate jobs because they had to grow the hell up.
That's what Jay-Z was talking about in the 444. Like, I listened and he was just saying the same thing as far as washing the drug money and getting legit and stuff like that. And then that's something we talk about all the time too, because a lot of that's who the youngest look up to. You know, that's who the youngest want to be. And I was like, man, the same qualities that these CEOs, top Fortune 500 companies have, the young and the people that's on the blocks, they have too. You understand? Because it's the same exact thing. It's the same thing. The promotion, the marketing, the business handling the money. They have the qualities. It's just having the outlets to do what they want to do and finding the dreams to do it. So imagine all those the youngins, the people that they want to label as statistics and whatnot, going legit because they had the qualities, they had the work ethic. You know, it's just just realizing that they had that potential. Like you said, when he realized he had the potential, when he started doing, he started seeing, I already got these qualities.
Right.
I already got it.
I feel like it's all about like how you invest your money, like getting it off that. Because I mean, a lot of people, there's no shame in it, but I mean, like to see money fast.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not always the way or nothing like that, but I mean,
right.
like it's all about how you invest your money, really. Like if you willing to, if you know you can put money here for something that you know you can flip for, like something way bigger, then that means you won't become the best salesman at whatever you're trying to sell because you already threw your wish down the well pretty much. That's how it is.
Right. You know, and it's like I said, like a lot like with the fast money. A lot of them don't realize that with fast money, you know, I wouldn't want to be looking over my shoulder every 5 seconds to see somebody coming after me. You know, whether it be Baltimore City, whether it be the feds, whoever, depending on how much, you know, you got your hands on. So, yeah, it'll take you a lot longer to make this money, the same amount of money you made on this one day. Yeah. But you don't have that pressure and that stress.
That's right.
You know, and then, especially if you're doing something that you are doing, you're not working for somebody else, you're working for yourself. So you was saying you was working for yourself out here, but you was actually working for someone else.
Yeah.
You guys are working for yourself.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, I mean, if you want to say that you're working for your supporters, that's something totally different because they're buying your product, you know, and you're supplying it. So,
right.
But you're not working for anybody else. It's like you're making this money today, but you got to get half of it to this person over here.
Yeah.
You know, that's not even the case.
Yeah.
But you know, and that's why I kept saying, like, you guys, these kids, you know, they were out there hustling for tennis shoe money. You're not making any money. You're not. What do you know? You're not making money because you gotta help pay the BGE bill, or you gotta help pay the rent because you know your mom is on drugs, your dad's not there, or your dad's on drugs and your mom's not there. You live with your grandma who's about 140 years old. She can't deal with you. You know, I seen all this. You know, when I came to Baltimore, I seen it all, and I wanted to help, but what could I do except give these kids like. There's more to life than what's right here. You might be in a bad situation right now, but that doesn't mean you have to stay in that situation.
And I wouldn't necessarily say it's like the kids' fault for that because you're only accustomed to what you're surrounded by.
Exactly.
So I mean, it's like something like that could just seem very resident, like, oh, this is how life goes. This is how life goes. It's not really role models out there that show like if you do this, bam, you be here.
The only role models they really have is the guys that on corners.
Exactly. And not to chew our own horn or nothing like that, but as we started growing and we started getting a voice and people start looking at us, especially the younger crowds, I'm like, man, like, if we can be, you know, one of those examples, because they need that example to see, all right, they grinded, you know, and then they see us at a point where it's like, all right, these guys comfortable, they living, you know, they taking care of their families and stuff like that. I can do the same thing because anybody can do it. It's not like, all right, we got something special that nobody else got. No, we found something that we love. We work together. That's another thing that I think is important that we need to start doing in our community. Start working together. Stop being all about It's about that you can accomplish so much as a team. If it was just me sitting here, I wouldn't be sitting here. To be honest, it would have been over a long time ago.
Right.
But to have a team that I believe in, that I have faith in, and they have faith in me, and we supporting and we working together, that works so well. And it's like once you start picking that up, once people start seeing that, once they start seeing examples like that, I think that's when it start clicking. So we gonna take the responsibility as in our part, and it's more examples too. But the more examples that raise up, that they can start seeing, all right, I don't just have to be over here all the time to get some money. I can actually grind and find a passion and make it legit.
Right.
Yeah.
I think you said it. You said earlier about the kids selling the merchandise, selling the shirts, you know, or whatever. So you're already having that positive effect on the younger generation because you're giving them like their first job, even though they don't realize it is their first job.
Like,
you know,
like you were saying too, like because most of my little brothers, and they love it too. Like we'll have like events where they want our clothesline event at like high schools and stuff. So we'll just send them, like, just knowing that they're a better face for high school since they're in high school.
Yeah.
That the youngins are gonna be able to relate to them and everything. So it's better to kind of like push them in there and make them look like they pop stars in a way.
Yeah.
And like that's how we want everybody to feel with the clothesline being involved. Like, treat this like.
And it makes
like
it
let me pay them to.
It's all about the thought process. Because with us, even in our mindset, when we think about what we want to do next, we think about the future. We're thinking about what we want to do next. And we think about that with the kids too. They are the future. So everything we do, we invest and make sure it's going towards the future. That's how, like, when my dad started teaching me how to cook, it was always, we started off with eggs, and I ignited, then I turned on high. And I'm always trying to rush it. I tried to rush the eggs, and just wanted to get it over with so I can eat. And then he was like, everything takes time. And you gotta let it sit, you gotta let it simmer, and that's what we doing. We letting it sit, we letting the word out and just letting it stay there for a second. Yeah. That way when we really start to get it cooking, everybody gonna want something. Yeah. Everybody gonna want to get involved with it, everybody gonna want to wear it, everybody gonna want to see it. Right. And that's how you grow. Once you let it sit and invest in something and then you go ahead and blow it up, it's just a beautiful sight to see, and that's how we think.
Right. And he just words trigger stuff in my head. Yeah. So you said about having a vendor table, right? Don't be surprised if you get an email. Because a lot of times at these hip hop shows I go to, I don't know how much. I'm affiliated with Wisdom Court Entertainment. He's got a lot of different places. I'm sure. We have Woo Wednesdays down at what's called Charm Baltimore now. It's it used to be Sonar Paparazzi, but it's called Charm now. He has another place called Map Technologies. They just did a show last night down there and at Charm, and a couple other places. I think he was telling me last night, because I'm getting ready to throw an R&B show, because we haven't had an R&B show. I want an R&B show. Like I'm tired of hearing the same thing over and over, so I need to hear some little lovely music. But a lot of times he'll tell people, you want to put a vendor table up, and it might be like, I think he might charge like, I don't know, $50. You set your table up, and then you can sell your merchandise. I don't know if he's still doing that as far as charging anybody. I don't know, but that's a whole nother demographic. That's a whole nother path to go through and whatnot. So don't be surprised if you get some information in your email. Like I said, I'm constantly pushing people here, there, and everywhere. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play a song or two, give everybody a break from talking, and I'm enjoying this conversation because I'm enjoying it too. I'm just like I said, I can't, I'm in the hip hop community. They call me Mama Lisa because I'm older than everybody. Yeah. And I'm like everybody's mother. I'm concerned about them. I worry about them. I want nothing but the best for them. So when they do something, and it just, how your mama gets proud, and you can see it in her. That's it. Like this right here is making me so happy to see, like, you guys. You want to. This is something that you want to do. It's not something that you're doing just because, or you have the thought process, you have the plan, you're thinking about bigger and better things. Like, you've already started thinking about, okay, where are my stores going to go? And I'm okay. Yeah. So I'll play a couple songs and give everybody a break. It's always warm in here. And we'll be back. Hard Body Radio in the spotlight. Your girl Lisa, the Baltimore Paparazzi. And we'll be back with Slash Clothing. Stay tuned, y'all. Oh, and I only play local artists. No, we did, but we ran out of water.
Well, I had something on the future plan, and this is the age came, and I was like, oh yeah. That's why I catch your body and kill it, I'm on a throwback. Whoever knows the new generation,
back. And if I wind up snapping on niggas, it ain't a Kodak. And when we both been talking, I hear it, but I don't know Jack. So if you got a problem, then I would need you to show that. You know that? Against physical, it ain't no problem. If my blunts ain't rolled, I'll start my party. Just give me your best beat. I don't like no Molly. Fuck with the white girls.
My mom was like, yo, it's really proud. Absolutely. Yeah, my mom, that's when my mom tuned in. Hey, watch out, God. She said, absolutely, God. We getting fun together. Hey, because of me. Hey, God.
But see, to me, that's the most important thing. It's like to have your family like support you.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. She said my mama always telling me like to be proud. Just seeing her, she'll text me, oh, I just seen somebody out in the mall with a shirt. I'm so proud. Like that's worth more than anything. Say Yo, I'm trying to figure out who is Joshua.
It's J-A-H-U-A-N McNaw M-C-N-A-W. It was on YouTube. So somebody who tuned in from, I guess, the flyer or whatever. J-A-H-U-A-N. Last name is M-C-N-A-W. That's what it was on YouTube. Why should be somebody and be like, that's not even his real name.
Yeah,
that's some alien.
I know about something else.
I'm just strong and killing noise. It's too boring. Fill a void and hit the chorus. Goddamn, that girl is.
Oh yeah. I was like, you music video.
He's like my son. He's part of a group called T Cremate. They were supposed to open up for Pusha T, but the whole tour got canceled.
Pusha T showed a lot of love all the rappers.
Yeah, I just went up to Michigan to see Kevin Gates in concert at the end of the month. That's why I went to Michigan. We went up to, I had to restart the program. We went up to Cleveland and seen the arena. They already took LeBron's his picture there. They're wasting no time. I have no idea. You might want to ask. You can ask 3D. You can ask 3D after the. I'm trying to play another song. I had to restart the whole program.
Non-stop, yeah.
This the flow that got the
I do this for the niggas locked down and still walking the yard, and for the G's that be fighting the jar. That's for these niggas phony nowadays, and they be acting like rods and try your hand and I'm pulling your car.
still get a couple shots, but nah, this is a bar and that's real. I never let up my guard. I ain't tripping off fashion, gutter minded, so I'm all about action. Real bars, y'all spit up with passion. You clowns better run for cover, yeah. We get the clashing on fast food, but my niggas be macking. Y'all niggas relax, I'm barely sleeping, I'm barely eating. These niggas ain't hot, they just very decent. I'm killing more here, niggas every season. Don't ask me why I'm going hard. I got every reason, because back in the day, I always had a tight flow. Talking running time with them chicks wearing micros. Even back then, I was a rap bar player. No telling, drug seller, all good. I was like, yo, I'm trying to get the
I was like, all you have to hear is
he said he was general. I'm general. I'm the real CEO.
Always had to grind. God never gave me the choice. And getting frustration and the pain all in my voice. Nothing going on. Nah, I ain't talking about no damn. But they haters, they can't stand me. These niggas crapping. I was trapping, they tried to can me. That's why I'm playing chess with these niggas. Overstand me, stand me. Yeah. Look, I never knew what I wanted to be. Cause all I had was this block in front of me. And it get cold when you out there in the fucking street. I rather sit I live, nigga, let me keep it G. I moved the coke, I moved the dope, and sometimes it was funny. But I've been chillin' for a while, now it's back to the money. And they gon' hate on me again, so I smile on their faces. I'm on the dial right now, they calling my ace. And they gon' sweep the whole block, I hope it's the place. No witness, no suspects, cold case. Big breaks ain't stopping, tell me not breathe. Put the rats in on his face and his feet squeeze. Give him a sweet 16 like a birthday.
Bro, it looked like he looked at you like, what is he about to say, bro?
I saw that like, yo, I hope you're not about to go off. You got the big one. You got to put the cheese in there.
I saw the talking about eggs. I was looking at Dad's school and looking at Kate. I was like, watch out, man. I got it, man. I've been talking for a while.
I was like, don't fall apart. You ready for food? You're like, yo, nigga start getting hungry. You start eating eggs and pop like,
it all ties in.
I knew exactly what you talking about.
It was like, got a little simple.
You gotta turn it up a little bit. Trying to get a
I don't know the drugs you think I'm using everywhere. Tokyo the drugs and hold your Uber everywhere. They love me cause I'm trill, I'm coming out your grill. You haters run your mouth with them gunners on your heels. They ain't gonna play around, so fuck how niggas feel. I'll take your family out like I was coming with a bill. Who are you? Who you claiming to be? I want the truth. Who you explaining that to me? You get too close to mine and you gon' hate what you see. You want your own phone line, I'll put your name on the T. Rest in peace. I'm dead dude, you think you dead cool, tech fool, we needed doctors, straight out of med school for rescue. Tell them that I'm puzzles, you gon' test me, said school, leave you with a puddle, that's a Deadpool, Red Bull. Got me on a Kobe run, I'm going back in. I'm chopping with the only one, you slow it down, dumb and slow. I'm telling what they wanna know, your flow is past week. That shit sound like a month ago, nigga. Street team. What time it is, I'm here. This road, nigga. Dude,
and we're back. Hard Body Radio in the spotlight. Your girl Lisa, the Baltimore Paparazzi. Yo, there's some some shenanigans going on in here. Those on YouTube and Hard Body, y'all seen it. I don't know if you can hear what was going on. It was like it was some shenanigans. They on camera, like during the interview, they're all just like real sitting there all night. But yeah, I don't know what was going on. I was in my own little world, but yeah, okay, y'all missed it. So oh yeah, that was Team Cremate, that was Rebel, who is the current king of the Pit Fights Rap Battle League. With It's My Poison. Took my prerogative and Poison, blended them together. It's Crate Tape 2. You find that on, I think you can find that on their website, Team Cremate, spell it with a K. And I'm not sure who that last song was by. It's called Nothing But Bars, featuring King Rex and J.R. Ryder. Somebody had sent it to me a while back, and it's in my playlist. And I was trying to play another song, and it played that one. So, yeah, I need to clean my list out again. Because I have some stuff on here that's not mine. Because people like to add music to my playlist. I don't like that. So we're back with Slash Clothing. These young gentlemen, yeah, I don't know if anybody could tell y'all really anything. I mean, I'm sure that there's things that, some guidance, a lot of guidance that you all could, you know, could use or whatever. But as far as like, yeah, I don't really think there's probably too much you all don't already really know. Like, and maybe don't even know that you really know it until coming along. Like, you're like, well, damn, I already know that. Like you were saying about going to college for business, and you're like, wait a minute, hold up, we're already doing this. Yeah. It's how, I mean, because you have those role models, and I hate when people look up to celebrities as role models. Yeah, that's right, that's right. Like my kids, my son, he likes certain like athletes, but they're not his role models. Yeah, right. My daughter, you know, I want both of my children that, you know, I have four kids altogether. 2 of them are my stepchildren, and then I have my 2 biological. My biological children, I want them to be better than me. I want them to learn from me, but be better than me. Right. So I never wanted Michael Jordan to be my son's role model. Like people talk about when these football stars or basketball stars get into trouble. Yeah. You're not a very good role model. That person should not. He is a human being. That's right. He should not be your child's role model. You should be your child's role model. If you can't be your child's role model, then Uncle George over here should be, you know, yeah. Or you know, somebody who's like should be a role model. It should not be somebody who is up on a pedestal making millions of dollars. That should not be your child's role model. That's right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, even with them making them billions of dollars. I mean, I'm not saying it's everybody, but it's still flaws behind all of that too. Oh, yeah. Everything's like, everything's not what you see on camera really, but they see what they see and they'll be like, oh, that's my role model, like you're saying. Mm-hmm. In that way. Yeah, man.
You know, I mean, like, we were just talking about I think I was at work, and my coworker was talking about Ray Rice. And about how that you know what, black men stay out of elevators. Jay-Z and Ray Rice should be enough for y'all to stay out of a fucking elevator with a crazy woman. Yeah. Just saying. But you know, like a lot of the world, you know, I'm a victim of domestic violence. I went through it for 9 years off and on with my children's father. I'm wholeheartedly against a man beating on a woman. But if she can't keep her hands to herself, and you trying to get away from her, and things happen, you know. So we were talking about Ray Rice, and you know how he got kicked out of the league, how he got blackballed, how, you know, this, that, and the third. And I said, well, Terrell Suggs kicked his baby mother out a moving car and poured bleach on her, but he's still playing. So there's different things, you know, and he's like, that's not a very good role model. You don't know what's going on in them men's lives. Yeah. You know, you don't know what's going on. You know, they're under an immense amount of pressure by coaches, by owners, by everybody. Yeah. You know, basketball, you know, everybody that baseball players, they're under an immense amount of pressure to live up to this contract. Yeah. And it's not even their, like, the ability, it's the money. Yeah. Oh, well, I'm paying you this amount of money, so you've got to do this, you've got to do that. I don't care that your baby's sick and in the hospital, because guess what? You got to play this game. Yeah, that's right. You know what I mean? So people put everybody up on a pedestal, just like with actors and actresses, the same thing. These people are people. You know, when Halle Berry went through her divorce with Eric Benet, and everybody was like, "Oh, it happens every day."
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You know, Rochelle down the street just went through that with her boyfriend. You know, or her husband, or you know, it happens. The things that happen in their, you know, the negative things that happen in life happen in everyday people's lives. It's just not newsworthy.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, I think because you had those strong role models around you, you know, it's cool to like have a favorite athlete. It's cool to have a favorite actor or whatever. You know, like everybody's like, "Well, who was your crush? You know, who was your crush?" I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
I had a crush on the boy down the street. You know, it had nothing to do with it. You know, I thought, who was on TV? Yeah, but he's unattainable. People live in this fantasy world.
That's real. That's real.
People live in a fantasy world. Just like with the making of the money, you know, everybody sees, you know, you might see somebody who's got a, who started, clothing line, fashion line, and you see the after effects.
Yeah.
Don't see where, you know, like Google and Amazon starting in garages and stuff.
Yeah.
Nobody sees that part of it.
Yeah.
You know, they only see the once everything started popping, started doing this, they got money. Apple's $1 billion, $100 billion company, and to me, their product's still like,
Yeah, that's right. They don't see that. They just see the success, and they call it lucky. I don't think anybody on this planet has seen any type of success. It's off of luck. It takes even the people that, even like if you go in the hip hop community and you see the kids that's popping off like this, you know, and you can say, you know, it's because of this marketing or it's because of this agenda, and that's true too. But at the same time, it was work behind that regardless. You know,
right.
You don't just accidentally wake up successful. I don't know a story, you know, that you can look up and it's like, I just woke up one day and I was just here. You know, it just don't happen. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of setbacks. It's a lot of losses. Yeah. And that's just what people don't see. And you have to, like you said, people live in a fantasy land. Like growing up, we seen the seasons where, you know, it was up, but then it was down. You know what I'm saying? Right. We seen the struggle. We know what it's like to say, it's just not popping this week. We gotta cut this, cut that. You know what I'm saying? So we understand that, and that's why, you know, our vision is not blurred. Like you said, we live in especially this generation. Everybody wants it like this. They want to be, and I will knock nobody's dream. Like I will never knock. I don't care if somebody come to me and say they want to be anything. I just don't care, because at the end of the day, that's what I believe in.
Right.
I believe that everybody can attain their dreams, but it's a cost with it. It's a huge cost with it, and most people are not willing to go through that. I told
a friend of mine last night that she was talking about the fact that her boyfriend's always busy.
Yeah.
You know, he's got a regular job, plus he's running a company, you know, and everything. And I looked at it, I said, personally, I'd rather have a man that's that busy.
Right.
I mean, he's, you know, he's always working, he's always doing something, he's always on the phone, he's always doing. He makes sure he has time for his family, but, you know, and I think she was just saying, she was being sarcastic when she said it, but I needed her to come down to reality and realize you can't keep saying stuff like that, because after a while you birth things into existence.
That's real.
Once a friend of mine says, once you birth it to existence, you can't take it back.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's why I got to the point. I'm a Sagittarius and I'm very blunt with what I say.
Yeah.
And I hurt feelings. My friend tells me all the time. He said, when you said that you hurt me really bad, you don't realize how hurt. I was like, sorry. I speak the truth. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry that it hurt your feelings, but I'm a very blunt person. I'm direct. I don't like to pussyfoot around the, you know, I don't like going up and around and coming back. No, I'm just going to give it to you straight.
Yeah.
And the truth hurts, but a lie hurts even more. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I was like, look, if you want a man who's not busy, you're going to have to deal with a man who's got a lot of idle time on his hands.
Yeah.
You know, and she's just coming into this situation. I've been there with him as far as building his company. So I've been there and I've watched everything. and he's hella busy right now. He's phone calls. Like now he's done branched out to West Virginia and PA. So now he's got people that he's trained to do things because he's kind of like me. As you notice, I don't have a co-host. I don't have a co-host. I don't have anybody else in here with me. I'm too controlling. This is my name, my brand. I have In the Spotlight radio show, but it started out as an In the Spotlight mixtape series, and it progressed to a showcase series. You know, so that is my brand. I don't, you know, people are like, oh, Lisa, you need to have an intern to help you with taking pictures. If they take pictures, then they're not my pictures, so they're not the Baltimore paparazzi pictures.
Yeah.
So I'm not willing to hand that over. Yeah. And when my grandson gets older, because he likes to be in the camera, he likes to take pictures. He took a picture of my granddaughter throwing something in the toilet. Yeah. He took a picture of her. It's like you snitched on your cousin. Like, come on. But it's all about your brand. Just like it's your brand, but it's a cohesive brand.
Right.
Now, you got people who will come along and be like, yo, I'm gonna help you do this, and that, third. But then you gotta really stop and think, be like, am I gonna be able to trust you with my brand?
Yeah.
Because as this gets bigger, you're going to need more people.
For sure.
And then it's going to become like a background check. I'm going to need you to pee in this cup. You know, it's going to be that extensive.
For sure.
Go ahead. No,
not to cut you off, but it's like you said, it's like you were saying with your brand. Like, this is like, to me, it's like my child. Like, I take it like, and it's not, it's my child that we all raising, you know what I'm saying? But
it's like
I take it, like,
baby.
I take it that serious.
That movie was probably way before your time. Wait, 3 Men and a Baby. They was raising this little baby. But anyway,
I take it as serious as like my child. Like, I'm not letting anybody, just like any parent, I'm not letting anybody near them. You feel what I'm saying? Just anybody. It had to be somebody I trust. You know what I'm saying? So that
So,
sure.
What happens when somebody comes along, a bigger like a company comes along,
right,
and wants to sign you guys, almost like a rap, like a rap artist? Right. There are people that do that. They come along and they try to like almost buy your company.
Right.
How are you going to feel about that?
I would we will all discuss it, but I feel like we all on the same page. We talked about this before. I feel like we all on the same page, especially now, like no time soon. I mean, it's a great opportunity, but I just feel like it's like it's written inside. It's literally written on us. So it's like it would mean more. You know what I'm saying? It'd be different than just. It would be like giving my child away. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that I don't think we willing to do that.
Because the reason I asked that is because there's a group here in Baltimore that got signed to some deal, and the stipulation after they signed the deal was they had to change a lyric in their song.
Yeah, it's boundaries. It's like boundaries.
I think I know what you're talking about too.
And Creek Boys.
Yeah, shout out. Yeah.
And
we actually just linked with Turk P Diddy, the lead one.
No, I don't. I just took pictures of at Summer Jam. I know D-Boy that like helps.
Oh, the manager.
Yeah, I know him because I know him from being a rapper.
Yeah.
And when I heard that, like, I don't know the whole ins and outs of why they signed the deal. If it was because they wanted the distribution or what the case may be.
Yeah.
Me personally.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would be able to sign to those terms, because you want me to change something, and that's what it all comes down to, is like a negotiation of contract. I've been offered a lot of other radio stations to come do my show there, but it was, I have an idea for a show for you. I've already got a show. I have full reign of doing whatever I want at this show. I come in here and I bitch, yell, and complain about it being you know, smells like smoke in here. It's this, that, and the third. That's why I have my Unstoppables burning right there. That's why it kind of smells like fresh laundry. Because I don't smoke. I mean, you know, I have guests that do, and that's fine.
Right.
But when I first come in here and that's all I smell, it's just like, yo, really? You couldn't spray air fresheners after you were done?
Yeah.
I have, like I said, I have full reign. I do whatever I want for my radio show. So for me to up and go to another radio show and them say, oh, well, you can't do this and we can't do that. Why? No. Yeah. That's why I asked, because, you know, everybody's like, oh, well, would you do it for this amount of money? Would you do it for that amount of money? If it's for me, yeah, that money would be cool, because I could go and buy a house instead of dealing with housing. I'd probably buy my kids a house if I got you know, enough money. Right. You know, I could be able to do things. But at the end of the day, am I selling my soul to the devil?
That's right. It's crazy as you was talking about that last night. Literally, I was on Instagram, and we all know who Dame Dash is. And I was on his Instagram, and no lie, like, he had on, you can check it now, he had Taco Bang, you know Taco Bang, he had a Taco Bang, and he was talking about the Leo Cohen situation. And Tate, you know, unfortunately, he was talking about how he signed a 360, and now it's backfiring because they won't let him release any of his music, any of his albums, and nothing like that. And he's like, he went off the label and stuff like that. And so I was just looking at it, and I was like, man, because we actually just, like, last month, we met up with Taco Bang, gave him some clothes, like you seen on his Instagram. He was actually wearing a hat, one of the red hat in the video, but just seeing that situation, I'm like, and we was talking about this literally on the way here, just talking about people signing, you know, deals, and how the internet is like, I mean, whatever works for you, because some things works for some people. You know, having a big machine behind you and stuff like that, that works for certain artists. But, you know, you can do it independent these days, man. Like, the internet changed everything.
Yeah, and I preached that way back when I first came in. I was telling people, you can do this independently. It's just going to cost you. Yeah. Well, now you can do it independently, and it's not going to cost you because the internet is wide open. And that's why I said, like, back a few years ago when my nephew was like, he was like 18, 19. And this is when Young Money, Cash Money. Yeah. He's a big Lil Wayne fan. So he was like, I want to get signed with Young Money. And I was like, what kind of deal do you want? He was like, what do you mean? I said, there's different kinds of deals. I said, you don't even know that. I said, do you realize that when you sign a deal, this is with any business, you sign a deal and they're giving you upfront money, you have to pay all that shit back. That's the reason why these cats that get signed are on the road constantly. Because that's where they have to make that money, and that's how they make their money. I'm a big Tech 9 fan. Tech's coming in November. Yay. And he started that independently. Now, mind you, Travis had the money to back him. He's the CEO of Strange Music. Now, that was his backing, but people don't understand that that's what you need, and you got to keep your, you know, you can't get too blown up. I mean, this is with any business, not just the hip hop. This is with any business. Like if you guys started getting money hand over fist, like you know, people really buying your stuff, and y'all be like, hey, we got money, you know, like be on Instagram throwing money up and all that stuff. And then something go on and something happen, and then all that money is gone. You don't even have the money to reinvest to get the next shipment of clothing to replace what you just sold. You have to keep your mind about everything. And like you said, like you get the money, you reinvest it, you put it back in the pot. Judah Priest was saying the same thing last week. They're going on tour, and what they're doing is they're having other underground artists like open up. They're only charging like $50. And I looked at him and said, only $50? And he was like, yeah, because he said, I'm actually going in my pocket to, going in my pocket to help fund this whole tour, because he's like, these artists that are paying all this amount of money to open up for, big stars, and they're not getting anything out of it. He said, for this $50, you're getting to be on the stage, you're getting promotion, because Judah does, he does heavy promotion on all social networks, little like commercials, you know, Instagram little commercials or whatever. So you're getting all of that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but you're only charging $50. You're not even making any money. And I'm just like, I'm cool with that because I'm tired of people raping artists.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, so, but still, you're a businessman. You got to make money somehow. But what it is like he told me, he was like, from this project and the money that he made off of that, they put it into a fund. Like he paid back to his investor, but he put the rest of the money into like the pot is what we call it.
Yeah.
And then as he was making money off the streams, then he would take the money and then he would invest it into another project. The money that he made off of that, he put it back in the pot, and it's just growing.
Yeah, and that's how you do it. And like you were saying with the money and flaunting it and stuff like that, that's one of the things that we all share. It's one of the things that we I feel like we just had in us as far as, you know, reserving, because you put money in, you got responsibilities and stuff like that. But what a lot of people do, or a lot of businesses fail, because once they start seeing money, they'll start, all right, buying unnecessary stuff for themselves. Like for me, I don't really even know the last time I've been to a mall and really was like really shopping. Like I mean, I buy the necessities, but I really don't, and that's not even no exaggeration, because first off, I have a clothing brand, so I'm always wearing what we got anyway, right? And then so it's like. And then that money that I'm spending, all right, I get $60 jeans here, $200 on shoes. That could be easily, that right there, a whole outfit right there, could be a shipment of some shirts, or up front, you feel me, on some shirts. So I'd rather keep doing that. And all right, cool. Right now I'm 20. I'm still young. So I figured we started when I was like 18. So 18 to probably 23, 24, however long it takes. But if I have to be conservative, from 18 to 24, to have the rest of my life to be comfortable, to me that sounds like a win.
Were you guys, like, growing up, were you worried about having the latest shoes, the latest?
My mother didn't even.
I wasn't materialistic.
I ain't gonna lie. I would feel like I was, but it just like at the same time, just knew I just couldn't keep up. So it was almost like it was something I was like, man, I wanted this for Christmas, but I couldn't get it. I got something else, so it's like, all right. At this point, it's like, none of that really matters now. I didn't have it before, so I'm just gonna shoot to do this now. Like it doesn't. Most of it does. It's here today and gone tomorrow.
Right.
And my mother said, this will always take me, because me and my brother, we would grow up, and like our cousins and stuff, they would have all the polo. I remember polos. Yeah. We had to have the polos, the Jordans, and all that. Trues and all that. When we was growing up, we ain't had it. And my mom just wouldn't buy it. Like, even if she wanted, like, she had it, but she just wouldn't buy it for us. And I'd be like, Ma, like, why? Like, why? And that taught me 2 lessons. It taught me, first, she used to say, I want you to understand this property over polo. Meaning, I want you to understand how to invest your money into a business, or how to invest your money so your money grows, instead of putting it into materialistic things that it's gone tomorrow. Right. People don't even rock polo like that even nowadays. It's not. I mean, it's still polo, but it's not as popping as it was when we was growing up. And then second, it just taught that. I just lost it. Second, it taught just not buying all these trends and what everybody was wearing. We had to come up with our own unique styles. Right. And I think that's what helped even this, just coming out with our own styles, being creative, because we couldn't get what everybody else was getting. We couldn't get what was hot. So we had to, all right, let me do something. Let me wear something else that nobody else wearing that's hot. So all that just helped in it. And that's a valuable lesson.
I love the fact that you said you're not materialistic. Yeah. Because that's how, Ben Rhodes said, congrats, Rhodes, keep soaring high.
Appreciate it.
That's how I raised my kids, the same way. My kids, my daughter, she'll say it. She's like, Mommy, I admit that I'm spoiled. But it wasn't that she got everything that she wanted. It's just that I gave them the necessities, but then sometimes I would buy them stuff that they technically didn't need. Yeah. But my son, when I want some Jordans. Well, you better go tell your father you want some Jordans. You better get a job, you want some Jordans, because I can't afford Jordans. We were going to the Nike outlet to go buy tennis shoes. I don't have it. I'm providing a roof over your head, food in your stomach, clothes on your back. I hated the idea when I was growing up because they said that I'm from the Eastern Shore. I'm from over in the country, and they talked about they were going to make us wear uniforms. I was so dead against uniforms until I had kids. I was thankful for those damn uniforms because the clothes, like, I look around and my godson's mother used to say all the time, she would go broke buying her kids brand new tennis shoes and brand new. Well, they get made fun of in school. Well, then they just have to get made fun of because you got bills to pay. You know, you're teaching your kids that these Jordans are more important than an education. These Jordans are more important than paying your rent. These Jordans are more important because you got to look. Because her son told me one day, he said something to my son about my shoes cost such and such. I was like, I don't give a damn. I said, look at your shoes now. You done had them for like 2 days.
Man, that's crazy because that was even in high school. I remember like somebody that was around us and stuff. Man, they used to always say that, man, my outfit costs more than this and this and this. And we was in 9th grade, but even back then we would look at them like, it really matters.
So?
It don't matter. That don't get you. What that just put money in somebody else's pocket.
Because most of the time you just want to look at it and be like, yeah, that's why your mama got it from the flea market. But but you know, and that's why, like, I could tell, like, I asked these questions for a reason because I could already tell that you guys, it wasn't about, you know, I got the brand new this, or I got, you know, I got a Gucci belt, or I got a Louis Vuitton bag. Like, I think that is the most dumbest thing in the whole world.
I had hand-me-down stuff since I was, like, that's all I got was hand-me-down suits, hand-me-down shoes, it was everything. I ain't touched Nike till I was like, nah. That was from my cousin giving me some shoes. That was it. Right.
You know, and I think coming from humble beginnings, like, you know, because people tell me all the time that, you know, I'm so humble about the things, you know. I've just had a couple people make a post about me the other day about how important I am and this, that, and third, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just me. I'm just doing what I want to do. I'm just trying to give everybody a platform to be heard. You know, that's all I've ever done. And, you know, I think the humble beginnings, you know, they come along with all the blessings. Like, you know, a lot of people don't understand that. You know, how many times you heard people that, I don't know why everything's going wrong in my life, and you're just looking at them and you want to say, because your karma is messed up. Because you're not living your life right. You're not, you know, you worried about this instead of doing this.
And that, not to cut you off again, but that's one thing too. Like, I don't want to ever be the brand that's taking more than what we giving to. You know, I don't want to just be, all right, we're blessed enough to have people constantly supporting, constant customers, and it's flowing. And once we get to that level, like even now, we've done 2 homeless outreaches annually. Just finished one last week, week before,
like 2.5 weeks ago,
on the I-83 and whatnot, and feeding the homeless, and we're gonna do more. But the blessings that I feel like the blessings that you receive is for you to pour out to other people. It's not just for you to sit and get fat. It's for you to pour out into the community, the people around you, to touch the people around you. So as we as we keep rising, that's what we want to keep doing too. Like, we got plans to just, we got plans of doing a lot. I want to start putting, because I'm a basketball fan, and I notice around the city, like, we'll drive around the city sometime, and it'll be like, man, this court run down. We gotta go 30 minutes here. This court is beat up too. So I want to be, you know, one of the people that say, all right, start making slash basketball courts, putting them in the community, start restoring them, start decorating them, start making them look nice, so that these kids, they can start going there, and just like any other kid, just want to hoop somewhere that they can feel like, all right, these people actually care about me. This is a nice rim. Like, it don't, you really, like, that's priceless. So just doing that, doing other things I want to continue to do, because we partnered with another program to do the outreaches, so I want to start branching on our own, where you got the team, we helping, but we also inviting our people, our family, our supporters, come with us, come feed, you feel me, come help us feed the homeless, start doing that, and doing other things along the line, because it's your blessings are not just for you, your blessings is for the people around you, for your community, is to bless other people. That's why That's why I believe you get blessings from God anyway.
If there's one thing we know is that there's a time and a place for everything. There's a time to build, there's a time to give, there's a time to receive, and we just always make sure our timing is right. We don't just step out just because it's just a new hot thing or whatever. We out here, not a lot of people just doing charity work legit, going out to the places and feeding the homeless, and that's what we there to do. We there to make sure that everything, all our numbers, all our eggs are in one basket. You know what I'm saying? We making sure everything is legit.
And using the influence that we had, because it's about the youth is the future. In our youth, we have so much power. Like with the internet and stuff now, we have so much power that generations before us didn't have. We have the power to go on Instagram right now and send a message that can touch millions of people just like that. You know, so stop using that power that we had for good. Start using it to actually make change and not just talk about, not just be Instagram activists and stuff like that. And that's another thing that really bothers me, because it's like a lot of people fake it. Like it's great. I like the positivity and stuff like that. But if you just talking it just to talking, you're not putting your actions behind it. If we calling ourselves strong leaders, but we not in the communities, we're not touching the people, we're not actually leading. If we're not doing that, then what do we hypocrites. We just clowns, to be honest. So it's like, let's stop talking and let's really start doing. Because I love my city, and it's time for a change. It's time for something new. It's time. I'm tired of just, all right, man, it's the same old every year. We have here in the murder rate, we this and that. Man, no, let's do something new. Let's come up and stick together and change this around, because this is our home. This is where I've grown up. This is all I know. And I'm tired of people coming from out of town and just, the only thing they know about Baltimore, the murder rate high, the drugs, and then I'm tired of that. Let them say something new. Let them say something different. Like, honestly, like, yeah.
And it's like I said earlier about the ceasefire this weekend.
For sure.
And we had 2 shootings. One was shot up on 1800 Winchester Street. My mother sent me that information because I used to live on Winchester, but I lived in the 2800 block. She don't know the difference. But she was like, something about the ceasefire didn't work. And I was like, I didn't even say anything, because the ceasefire is more than the fact that we're trying to get people just to stop shooting each other and killing each other for this one weekend. We're trying to get people to stop and change their way of thinking. You can't do that. But I heard on the radio that, because I know Erica Richford, who is one of the founders of the Baltimore Ceasefire. I've known her for a few years, and I know just about everybody who's attached to it. And the things that they are doing and trying to do and trying to get people to understand is, you know, so much more than what narrow-minded people, they see, oh, well, it didn't work, so we're supposed to give up and not keep trying. The homeless. I know a lot of organizations that have been doing feeding the homeless. Right in the wintertime, they collect scarves and gloves and hats and, you know, toiletries and stuff to give to them. A lot of people don't realize that, you know, well, why don't they go to shelters? Well, for one, the shelters are full. For two, they're not safe in shelters. A lot of them feel safer on the street than they do in a shelter.
That's right.
You know, so you have to look at the fact that some of these people do suffer from mental illness. You got to look at the fact that some of these people are out on the street, and they've been out on the street for so long, they don't think that their family want them. You know, it's so many different factors with all that. But people who don't go out and talk to these people and don't reach out to these people, you know, they don't know that. They don't want to know that. You know, I get frustrated every time I go on a corner, every time I go to a gas station, you know, anywhere, and somebody's asking me for change constantly. Sometimes I'm just like, look, sweetheart, I'm like one paycheck away from being where you are right now. I don't have anything. You know, I had this one man cuss me out because I told him I have a family to take care of. I ain't ask you for all that. Well, you asked me for money, didn't you? You asked me for money for what? You know, so a lot of times I'll see people, and what's disheartening to me, I hate to see these kids down on Lock Raven and Northern Parkway. They got the buckets out, and you don't know if it's really legit or not. if it's for a basketball team, a cheerleading team, you don't really know if it is or not because people have ran so many scams over the years. Right. And I was like, I seen these guys out there with basketball jerseys on. It just said orange on them. I don't know what that is. You don't have signs out there with the basketball team or anything like that. So I don't know.
That's right.
So I'm looking and I'm like, I really wish there was another way for these people to be able to have fundraisers, you know, legit fundraisers, doing stuff legit, you know, legitimately. Just like you were talking about, you know, doing all these different things. That's big to me to hear somebody say, oh, well, we want to do this, and we want to do this, and we want to branch out and do this, and we want to branch out and do this. The whole time you guys are 20 and 21 years old. Y'all should be in a club somewhere, you know, in all actuality, that age, you know, getting ready to go, you know, go to school, getting ready, you know, doing whatever 20 and 21 year olds do. Because I was in Job Corps at that time. I had graduated high school and my mother told me I had to do something because I was going crazy. So I went to Job Corps and I stayed for 3 years. I went to 2 colleges through them.
Right.
And you know, at your age, you should be living life. Because as they say, you got a lot of life to live, but you all are more concerned about, we're going to do this clothing line, we're going to start this business, we're going to reach out to the homeless, we want to do this for the basketball, you know, the basketball coach for these kids so they have somewhere safe to go. You know what I mean?
Right.
Who else your age is doing that? I mean, do you look around at some of your peers and wonder why y'all, what is wrong with y'all? You should, you know, you should be doing more, you know, more conscious community things.
Yeah, like, I mean, I just feel like we're blessed, like, honestly, just to have the background, you know, because a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people don't have that advantage. Like, I know if I didn't have my mother, if I didn't have my uncles and grandmother and if I didn't have that foundation first, I'd be somewhere else. Like, I wouldn't be here. Like, that's
might be a statistic.
Yeah, bro. So it's like just being blessed enough to have that. That's very important. That's the foundation, and a lot of people don't have that. And like you said, it starts with the mind. Like, you can put these, even with the thing we're talking about, doing all these things with the homeless and the basketball courts, and that's great. And that's what we're going to execute, but it's like you gotta start the mind. It's the mind is everything. Like, if you tell somebody, if somebody believe they can't do nothing, it don't matter what you put around them, what talents they have, they're not going to do it just because mentally they don't believe they can. We gotta start changing the mindset, and even if it's through education, if it's through mentorship, whatever, it starts with the mind. Once the community start thinking different, that's when you really start seeing the change. Like.
Yeah, it all falls into like the company you keep too and everything as well. Like, if you keep the right company around, it's going to, like, you're not going to be worried about, like, all of us, we like the type that we going to sit down, we talk like this, like, all the time.
I can tell.
It's not even just because we find the camera.
I can tell because when I had the radio with the music playing, and you all were just geeking and carrying on and laughing and everything else, you could already tell that you all have that bond. You know, and you were talking about mentor because, like I said, I things always running in my head when I hear things. A friend of mine, he passed away a couple years ago. His name was Derek Jones. His rap name was Ooh. He started the Save a Dope Boy Foundation, where he was trying to take these boys off the corner and give them jobs. Even if the job wasn't paying them, he would come out of pocket to pay them. And he would get the money from selling merchandise, hats, t-shirts and whatnot. He worked for YAP down in Juvenile Justice. They have a mentoring program. Well, when my son got in trouble and his probation officer was like, he needs to be in a mentoring program. Cool, by all means. I want him in YAP. It took him a long time to get him because, for one, they had a long list, and two, they didn't have enough mentors. And that is like, when you were talking about mentors, I think you guys would be awesome mentors or big brothers. You know, like some of these kids, because I don't know if you've really noticed, but some of these little boys, even these little girls, they need somebody. I'm not trying to take nothing away from no parent, but sometimes you let your child get away with so much that when you try to correct them, they look at you like you're crazy. Yeah. Why now? Why are you trying to do this now? But like you said, it starts with the mind, and going back to having those role models.
Yeah.
You know, I think that, you know, you guys might want to try to think about that as well, you know, sure. Because you guys really have your heads on your shoulders. Right. You know, and it's important because everything that you want to do, it has to start with the youth. Yeah. As far as, you know, giving that hope, because right now, look around you in any neighborhood in Baltimore City, and there's kids that have they just like they cool with this, you know, like we've all become numb, as Erica says, about the murders. Yeah, that's right. You know, I lost a few people. One of my close friends was shot and killed right in front of his house in his car, and yeah, I cried. But when I go on the Murder Inc. page, and I'll be like, damn, there's another shooting, and I just keep scrolling. Yeah. I mean, it's not that I don't care. It's just it's become an everyday thing here.
Yeah, that's real. Like we follow Murder Inc. every time we see it, we be like, damn. You feel me? It's just it gets I don't know. Yeah.
You know, and it's sad that it takes a 7-year-old little girl getting shot and killed before people start saying things need to be.
We gotta stop. It's still a life, like regardless. Yeah. Age, color, race.
You know, and you know, like I was trying to explain to my mother. I haven't talked to my sister or my brother since Freddie Gray was killed. Mm-hmm. Yes, Freddie Gray was killed. Yeah. Because I was trying to explain to them what actually happened. Mm. And my mother, she used to be a CEO, so she was trying to defend the police officers, and I'm like, yo, you can't. Yeah. So, you know, people that live outside of Baltimore, they don't understand Baltimore. Yeah. Baltimore is a whole different entity in itself. There's other cities that are like that are similar to Baltimore, but Baltimore has. I try to explain to them that there aren't jobs. I had to take a job all the way out Harford County. Mm-hmm. I applied for a job.
Yeah, I would say that's how it is. Because even the jobs inside the city, like they don't pay as good as they pay outside the county and all that either. So he was forced to go outside the city and all that travel and all this and that just to make ends meet and try to live, try to live comfortably. You know
right.
What I'm saying?
It's like, you know, people look and like when you look at what is that Dean? That's one of our engineers. When you like, I try to explain to my mother, and you know, like I said, people outside of the city that. You go and I want to take people. I really do want to take people from outside the city, and I want to take them on a journey through Baltimore, not the Inner Harbor, not Canton. I want to take them through the hoods, and I want to show them the hoods. I want to show them that people are trying to live and they can't. Why? Because economics. Oh, they can just go get a job. Really, it took me 5 years to get my job. And I was applying, because I work part-time. I was applying, like, everywhere. I'm not applying for fast food, because I will work one day in fast food, and some girl will come in there, and I will cuss her out.
That's crazy. Even when I graduated, I was applying to fast foods and all that. When I graduated, it was still thick. Like, I couldn't get a job for a minute. My mom was like, you just go in there and talk. And I was going in, asking to talk to the manager, and then still, it's a
and most of them don't even want to talk to you. You fill your application online.
Yeah, that's all they tell you.
It's a whole different, what's her name?
And so, that's, you know, like, that's why I say, like, when people talk about people that sell drugs, I don't condone it by any means, but I do know people who do sell, who have sold drugs because they couldn't get a job. Whether it be because they couldn't just get a job or because they had a record and couldn't get a job. So I got to feed my family somehow, you know, like I said. And then after a while, some people start their own businesses, and they try to, you know, they become what's called a better, you know, citizen. Yeah. Which I don't. Why? Because you're being productive and paying taxes now for streets that don't get fixed.
Yeah, it's scary because like you're just like while we talking about having a job, like just as quick as you can have it, you can lose it just as fast. And people paying bills and stuff like that, so they take the type of risk just to be able to feed their family. But it's like it's all about how you carry out the situation. Like I feel like honestly, I'd rather be self-employed than have to be like under any type of boss or anything like that. Like if I can bring in my own income, I'm gonna know what to do with my own money and like how to spend my own money. I won't have to worry about, oh, well, I just got fired and I got a bill coming up, so now I gotta handle both of like handle the situation. It brings more stress on me. So I feel like a lot of people should be able to be self-employed.
And especially in our community, we gotta start doing that. Like in the black community, in the city community, that's where, you know, financial freedom. Like to go back to the Jay-Z 444, like that's all he was talking about, financial freedom and being able to say, all right, we don't gotta depend on this system or this or that, because of course we growing up, man, we black, we understand the situations where we don't have the same opportunity as others. You know, I'm not gonna use that as a handicap or nothing like that, but it's the reality. Right. So it's like in those kids, it's a lot of kids like us in the city and stuff like that. So it's time to start saying, all right, let's take the power in our own hand. Let's start working together. Let's start supporting each other. Let's start moving. You know, let's start moving together. And that's another thing that's so huge. Is just the unity. The unity, man. If we come together, I feel like the city. Look at the city as far as any type of business, music, anything. If we start to come together, man, the options are limitless.
It's crazy because I actually I cater for the Jewish community. Like so I run a lot of Jewish people, and you know how Jewish people like move. They all work and they all helping each other, picking each other up when they need. Like if it's someone that does this, they go straight within their community wherever they need. And I feel like that's why they thrive the way they do with their money. They keep everything within their community. And I'm like, it's crazy because like we just said, African Americans, black people, like we already take over like entertainment, music, and all that. Imagine if we all was to work together.
I want y'all to imagine one thing. Okay, I know y'all watch football.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it last season. I probably won't watch it this season because not that they give a fuck if I watch or not. Yeah. But it's just my own personal like. Colin Kaepernick should be he should be playing. Right. Tell me if I'm wrong. If all the athletes that kneel, because now they're trying to fine them.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
My thing is, you got your first string, your second string, and you got a third string, right?
Right.
The first string is supposed to be the best.
Yeah.
Well, if your best running back is kneeling and you want to fine him and suspend him, okay. So you got to go down to your second string. Well, what if your second string is kneeling? So now you're down to your third string. Guess what? Are you going to win your games if these players would all stick together and not worry about, quote unquote, losing their jobs?
Yeah.
That's the power that people have. And like you were talking about the communities coming together. Think about the neighborhoods that you have grown up in. Think about the neighborhoods that you have been to, and think about the corner stores and who owns them.
Oh, we talk about that.
Yeah, I look at all that every time. Like when
it's like the demographics that's thriving in those neighborhoods. All those, and they don't even be from the neighborhood, and
they're not even from this country.
Not even.
Up on Winchester. No, but it's the reality of it, and people, and what's funny is, because I have a lot of friends who have, like I said, I have a couple friends that are graphic designers, and 4 right off the top of my head. And they say it all the time, like people say, how much for this? And they'd be like, give them a price. Well, can I get a discount? Yeah. But if you go to a white person that's doing graphic design, are you going to ask them for a discount? No.
You can't go to Apple and tell them, let me get it. You can't.
So we had a corner store on Winchester and Poplar Grove that was owned by a Korean family. Every couple of years, they switch hands to a new family member. Something to do with taxes. On this corner over here on Riggs in Poplar Grove, a black man opened up a store. Everybody started trying to go to him But guess what? He wasn't opening up on time. Some days he wasn't open at all.
Oh, yeah.
He opened up whenever he felt like it, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So guess what? People was like, you want us to spend money in the black,
oh, for sure,
for, you know, black-owned businesses, but these businesses are not running like the Koreans.
Yeah,
they're not running like the white company over here. And that's what the stigmatism comes to. And that's why I said I took my money and I went to a minority-owned bank.
yeah,
And I put my money in a minority-owned bank.
yeah.
I did that after dealing with watching Killer Mike and T.I. talk about doing that. You know, building up, you know. And at one time, if you go back in history and look at how Black Wall Street, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People need to get back to that and to that mentality of saying, look, this is what we need to do. And it's and what's crazy is the segregation. Like you said, the Jewish community, like up in Park Heights.
Yeah.
They are so, because I had I've been looking for a house, and the guy that was showing me the houses, like, I have some houses up in Park Heights, and I was like, no. He was like, no, in the Jewish area of Park Heights.
Yeah.
I was like, I still don't want to move to Park Heights. My job is in Hartford County. I'm not. It's bad enough when I get on 695. I got to deal with some traffic up until 95. So, you know, and it's not even about segregation, but it kind of is. You know, like if like I think that the system has screwed everybody's brains up.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, well, people just want to sit on welfare. Let me tell you something. The money that you get on welfare is not enough to survive on.
Yeah.
That's the reason why you've got 4 or 5 family members living under one roof. Just to make ends meet. You know, I'm wholeheartedly for, you know, being your own boss. If that's possible, if you can do that. Because like I said, I work for a company. They don't care about me. They don't care that, you know, like today I was supposed to go to work, but I told my boss, I'm getting my tooth taken out. And she was like, oh, okay, you know. They don't care that when I'm sick, like the company, the actual company.
It's not like you helping them or you like.
They don't, because the only thing is my manager loves me because I'm hired to do one job, but I can do 2 other jobs. So I've worked all week long. I'm supposed to work 3 days a week, and I worked all week long because people have called out, because somebody quit, because 2 of them are going on maternity leave, you know, and trying to hire somebody for the position, and they don't want to work, or they're too busy being up on drugs. You know, they're only putting an application in because they have to, you know, for social services or whatever the case may be. You know, it's like you look at society and wonder, where did it make that turn? Where did people stop caring about communities? I mean, I'm sure y'all have seen the pictures from years ago when, you know, the ladies out there on Sunday morning scrubbing the steps on the, you know, on the row houses. You know, they took pride in their neighborhood. Now, like, I used to hate it because, like, I'll drive down the street and I'll see somebody have the black bag from the corner store, take a candy bar or something out, and throw the paper. Why did you put it back in the damn bag?
It's an ignorance that kind of like grew on. I think a lot of people like just grew more arrogant with things. Like it's not like you kind of just living with what's happening. So it's almost like I don't care. Like and it's not. That's like a mindset that kind of kills a lot.
It's like in a way, it's kind of like just going back to even what like the communities. I feel like we gotta get back to self-love. We gotta get back to loving ourselves, loving our people, looking at each other as kings and queens and stuff like that. Because it's like you said, we don't fault. Like, I don't knock what everybody else, the different cultures and whatnot are doing, how they eating in our community. But at the same time, it's time for us to start eating in our community. You know what I mean? And it's time for us to take care of ourselves, just like everybody else take care of themselves. To say, I love my community, I love my people, it's not saying we don't love nobody. We love everybody. Right. But it's like, it's having pride in who we are. And anybody that try to say, oh, that's this and that, nah, that's what everybody else do that. So it's time for us to start doing that ourselves. Time for us to start looking at each other as brothers and sisters, kings and queens, looking at our way we live is, all right, this is our place that we've been blessed with. Let me take care of it, you know, for not only just me, but for my neighbors. Let's start looking and treating each other as royalty and treating the place that we are as royalty and loving. It really started with loving ourselves too. Like they condition us to start hating ourselves, hating our complexion, hating our hair, our facial features. And so then I don't like how I look, so somebody look like me, I don't like you either. I don't like where we live either, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, see, and all that's really started way back in the slavery days. Yeah. It's like I studied, because I went to Sojourner Douglas, which used to be a black college. Yeah. I was the only white person in a lot of semesters there. But that's just me anyway. I lived in an all-black town for like 3 years. Yeah. I studied, like, my African-American history teacher asked me, she made me stand up in class and was like, why are you here, you know? And I said, because I have children. Somebody has to teach them the true history. Not what I learned in school, but the true history. So their father wasn't going to teach him because he learned the same messed up history that I did. That Columbus discovered a world that already had people on it.
And jump in like that.
Oh, yeah.
Jump in.
That's why I'm going to school to be a history teacher, because, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta teach the youth. Like, that's exactly why I felt like my class was calling me, like, because me and Naz talk all the time, and like, I felt like when I went to school, like, I didn't know that, like, there's a lot of things that I didn't know until, like, I dove into history myself. Like, like exactly what you said, like Christopher Columbus, like, that man was nothing but a monster, and he has his own holiday. Like,
right.
How crazy is that? Like, he is like, I don't know, like I feel like I want to teach the youth, and I want to teach high school. I want to get to the kids around my age, around like our age now, you know.
Right.
Before, like, you know, when you got out of middle school and you become high school is introducing into like adulthood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's before you become like a real adult. I want to be able to be like that role model, that person that you can go to. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not too late. You could fail all the way up until high school. I want them to know it's not too late. Like, you can still be whoever you want to be, no matter if you fail every single class all the way up until high school. Like, I just want you to know that you can be the best person you can be.
Right.
And that, and like, I don't know, I feel like, especially towards our black young males, like, I definitely want to be able to, like you said, a lot of them don't have role models. Like, for me, like, I feel like I didn't have a great male role model in my life. So I want to be able to give that to other people.
Right. And like I said, like, I learned in that, I learned in the African American history class, I had to take psychology of racism. That was, you should see, like, people were, I don't know if people were scared to say what was really on their mind, but I would just go ahead and say it. Because I say, people laugh at me all the time because I say white people scare me. And they're like, how is that possible? Because I know what they're capable of. And I took psychology of the black family. And my professor explained, like, and it made me, I had one of those, I never thought of it that way. If you think about it nowadays, how a father will be in a household and then a father leaves and goes and makes another family, and people are just like, oh, what? Why did he do that? He had a family. Think back when we had slaves. What would they do? They would take the father and they would sell him to another plantation. And what would happen? He would make another family there because he never knew he was going to see his family again. So she was like, that is almost like in the DNA of the black males, not to cheat, but you know, that mentality of going from one family to another. And I was like, I never even thought of it that way. But it's like you said, it's the stuff that's been instilled in us. I grew up in an all-white town. We had, outside of town is where a lot of the black families live. The town where my children's father's from is all black. It's not even a town, it's just like a block. And it's just like, that's where all the, and up until like 1991, there was no black families that lived in our town until PJ and his grandmother and mother moved 2 doors down from us. So, you know, that's my, you know, my friends would be like, but now you have mixed kids and you date black men. Like, it confuses them because, as my mother said, I was not raised that way. I was raised to make my own decisions. I was raised to think for myself. And that's what I think a lot of people need to be instilled. People, all nationalities need that instilled in them to be able to think for themselves, to be able to make rational decisions, not based on color, not based on creed. We have an orange president. Come on now.
It's all programmed.
It is. It is exactly that. We are programmed to think like that. All Chinese people can't drive, or all Asians can't drive. They're all bad drivers. That's what everybody, that we're programmed to think all that things. Until you meet somebody who's Chinese or you know, an Asian descent, and they're not that stereotype. The gentleman that I talked about that was the drug dealer, he was the head drug dealer. When he came back to apologize to me about trying to fight me, and I was talking to him, and he was like, "You're not like other white people." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "You're not scared of us." What the hell I got to be scared of you for? He said, because most white people, they see my locks, they see my gold, they're automatically scared of me. I'm like, I tell people all the time, I'm prejudiced against stupid people. I don't dislike anybody for their color, nationality, your religion, none of that. If you're stupid, I don't like you. Doesn't matter who you are. People need to take that and learn to live like that instead of basing off of stereotypes. You know, somebody sees you guys walking down the street, oh, you guys are in a gang. You know what I mean?
That's the crazy part. I had people like legit in my family say that at first, like, and this is when we was taking it serious from the beginning, but this is when we were already in it for like some time, and they was like, man, I feel like they just, you know, they wearing a bunch of, you feel me, same shirts and together. They look like a gang. This my own family. So I know, you feel me, like, and that's why I try to always, I mean, you can't change how people think, what people automatically think, you know what I'm saying? So, but it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, we not that, of course. We know that we not that. But it's like, just getting it out there and as we grow, I know people gonna try to nitpick. I know that's what people gonna try to say, because we young black men, we moving together, we wear the same clothing line, so I know that's going to come. So we just being prepared for whatever it is, and we can just deal with it when it comes and roll with the punches.
It's all about how you carry yourself. I feel like if you carry yourself like how you want, how you are. I think sometimes I look at it as like how someone might view me, but like in the day, it's almost like, if I'm carrying myself by this way, they not gonna be able to get me out of my character, because the way I move, the way I think, is going to be how I'm going to operate anyway. It's like, so I mean, people will judge you just from like little things like that. But it's people are going to judge you regardless. That's the whole thing. And Baltimore City is the same way. Like I said, go down, if you guys were to go down to Inner Harbor, the police are probably, you know, especially now in this day and age where you got people calling on stupid things. Did y'all hear about the man that called the police? There's a white man that called the police on a black man because they were playing basketball and he fouled him too hard. Wow. Yeah. I would have knocked his block off myself. But I mean, and it's stories like that, like, and it's more like, look 5 years ago, and it was bad, but it wasn't as bad as it is now. And that's because we've allowed somebody in the highest seat in America to be able to be a bully, to be able to be racist, to be able to say and do whatever he wants to do. So now these other people say, oh, well, I can do it too, until somebody knocks the block off.
They let the people that were hiding it, like, come out. That's what happened. The people that were hiding how they really felt, they were like, oh, now we can come out, because now we have someone, this Trump, the most powerful man in the world. That this is okay. But it's not.
It's not. Like, I'm wholehearted. Like, I believe that, okay, how you feel is how you feel. That's fine. If you don't like me because I have black children, like, case in point, I wasn't allowed to go to my grandmother's funeral 2 years ago. I could come, but my family couldn't come. So I said, the hell with y'all. And then my mother, one of my aunts asked where I was at, and my mother told her, you think Lisa's gonna come and her kids can't come? You're crazy. So you know, and that's why I keep trying to tell people, I already, like, well, you could never understand. My son is a young 20-year-old black male.
Yeah.
He looks Hispanic, but he's a black male.
Yeah.
Standing on a street in Baltimore City.
Yeah.
And he fits a description. The description could be a description of Charles, and my son fits that description. My son looks nothing like Charles.
Right.
But that's the excuse that they use. And you guys doing the things that you're doing and planning on doing is going to help change. You stay on this path, you're going to help change. You might not be able to change all of Baltimore, but you're going to be able to change somebody's life. You know, especially if you do the basketball thing, the basketball courts. If you're going to change it, you never know. You might have the next NBA star at one of them courts.
That's why the message is so important. Strong leaders always so high because you get the cream of the crop is going to come to the top. And
right.
That's just how it is. Like the whole Trump situation, every situation we talk about right now, like our message is getting it out there, showing them who we are, how they follow. They're going to follow. And
right.
Before you can lead, you got to follow. So if we learn from our parents, and now, you know, the people who are going to be behind us are going to learn from us. Yeah. And that way we don't got to deal with, it don't matter what happens, whatever obstacle, whatever course we have to end up going to, whether it's the cops, whether it's the president, whether, no matter what it is,
right.
we going to be able to run past it. We will be able to go past it and do other things because we going so high. Like that's our message, we going so high. We the leaders and we gonna do what we supposed to.
And to add on that, that's another thing I'll say too. Like if you look at history, as far as the leaders that we had, the great leaders, Martin Luther Kings, the Malcolms, just the leaders that we had. You know, it's unfortunate they were killed before they actually did everything that they wanted to do. And I'm like, man. But imagine if it's like not just one, you know, imagine it's not just one or two in that generation. Imagine if it's a whole, you feel me, generation of leaders. And that's the whole concept. I don't want it to be, oh, I'm just the one leader or that. Because at the end of the day, they can stop that at any time. To keep it blunt, you feel me? They can stop one or two people. But you can't stop a whole city. How you going to stop a whole generation from thinking, you feel me, that's thinking on a path of let's move forward? It's impossible. Even no matter who we got at the president or who, once we unite and we start thinking like that, it's impossible to stop it. So I think just to pick up off what we said, we want it to be a generational thing. When we gone, when it's time for us to go, you know, and we out here, I want this to still be here. I want our kids and our kids' kids to say, yo, that's Slash, and then you remember what it stood for, and then keep it going. And it's a mentality and it's a movement that's going to surpass with our lives. Honestly, that's what I pray. That's what I believe.
And like I said, I wholeheartedly, you all keep on that path, and then you're gonna achieve that. You know, like I said, you're gonna come bumps in the road, and things are gonna happen. But the way I always look at it, things like that is, like I used to always question, like why am I going through this? Like I lost my husband 13 years ago. After finding real true love, I lost him a year and a half later. And I'm like, why did I have to go through this? Why? I questioned it. Why? It was something that I had to go through to show me how strong I really am. You go through things when bumps in the road happen, trials and tribulations happen, and you sit there and you're frustrated and you're mad and like, why? You gotta step back. It's something that you needed to go through for you to learn a lesson and to show you how strong you truly are. You know, I had friends of mine tell me they don't know how they would react if their spouse passed away. I said, well, try this. I spent a month and a half at Johns Hopkins with him while going to work, while going to college, and raising 2 children. Something that I had to do. And I had a 4.0 that first semester. You know what I mean? So you go through things in life because you have to go through things in life. You have to go through bad things to be able to appreciate the good things. You have to, you know, it's everything that happens. Like I said, you guys are going to go through stuff. Y'all are young. You're going to go through stuff with this clothing line. You're going to come across people that are not going to believe, not even in you, but not even in what you want to do. Be like, man, get out of here with that. Yeah, you ain't going to be, whatever. So-and-so tried that. They did. but you're not them.
Yeah.
You guys are, you're not them.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure that there's been people who wanted to do the whole fix up the basketball courts and everything else.
Yeah.
First of all, you got to find out who owns those basketball courts. Are there city courts? Then you got to go to the city and be like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
How can we do this? You know, there's a process. A lot of people don't even know the process nor how to begin. And they don't even research it either.
Yeah.
So as long as you guys stay true to your hearts and what you want to do, you guys are going to go places. I already see it.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. I really do. I thank you for giving, you know, talking to me that day at the bank and you know, giving him the information and coming through here and everything. That's what I do. I put whoever wants to be in the spotlight, whatever you want to do, that's what I do. Put y'all in the spotlight. So yeah, it's 8:26. It's hot as. Whew, I can't wait. I hope we do get this other place, even though it's a little bit more expensive. But it's so nice. The radio room is so big. It's so nice. Hopefully they got air conditioning. But yeah. So give everybody your information where they can find everything.
All right, we got the website is www.slashclothing.com. www.slashclothing.com. You can find us on Instagram at official/clothing, official/clothing, all together. On Twitter, we are on Twitter at official/CL, official/CL, the abbreviation. And just be on the lookout for everything. On YouTube, we have a YouTube channel called /TV. You'll see the / logo on it. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming through and talking with me and dealing with it. It just stays hot in here. Like I did a little photo shoot in here for my guy Steve. Oh, actually no, we did the video shoot in here. I just set up the black backdrop and I did a little video shoot for him for the song called Bottles. I was not planning on shooting that whole damn time. But anyway, it was hot in here. Like you opened up the door and it felt like it was like wintertime out in the hallway. But because we have tenants upstairs, we couldn't leave the door open. But yeah. So I thank you guys for coming through. I thank you everybody for tuning in. Next week I won't be here. It's family reunion. I don't know if we're having a family reunion, but I'm going to go see my family. My mother-in-law is like, we don't have family reunion. We're going to have a picnic. That's fine with me. She hasn't seen my granddaughter since my granddaughter's 9 months. She hasn't seen my granddaughter, so we gotta take her little fat stuff over there to see her great grandmother, so she gets spoiled.
That's good.
So I won't be here next week. The following week I'll be here, but I don't remember who I'm supposed to have. I don't know. I gotta look that up. I'm getting bad about this, y'all. I'm getting really bad. I usually stay 2 months, book 2 months ahead of time. So you guys got to slide in here.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. See, like I said, everything happens for a reason. So I thank y'all for tuning in. Hard Body Radio in the Spotlight, Baltimore Paparazzi. Please, everybody, be safe. Not just today, but tomorrow and every day forward. Things really are not that serious that you have to lose your life or your life as far as being dead or being incarcerated. It's not that serious unless somebody touches your child, then it's that serious. So, like I said, tune in every Saturday except for next week. And yeah, I'll be here. So we're gonna jump Alpha here. Hopefully this will play. So this is Dirt Road and Comp. I think it fits this whole thing right here. It's called Trap Fit. So yeah.
The trap outfit we did. Niggas way past that looking buggy shit. You feel me? Always outside of us trying to take some nigga. Nah, I'm talking about niggas really trapping in that real shit. 7 G's in 7 days, nigga. You did.